A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all-old-time radio.
Kroger Tender Ray Beef, no other beef so fresh can be so tender, presents Hearts in Harmony, transcribed. 1 week from today, ladies, just 1 week, and it'll be Christmas Day. That's when you do your stuff on the kitchen range, but good. And that's when women who smart are especially particular to get the kind of poultry that always turns out right, Kroger's poultry. You see, Kroger's poultry is naturally plumper and juicier and more tender. It has that real country fresh flavor. So, of course, it turns out better when you cook it. Yes, ma'am. Whatever kind of Kroger poultry you choose, a duck, a chicken, a goose, or a turkey, you'll say it's the best bird in town. And after you've cooked it, your family will just plain cheer. Now, you take those famous 4-point blue ribbon turkeys. These super turkeys are the aristocrats of the poultry kingdom. They come out of the oven all crispy brown on the outside, firm-fleshed, plump, and juicy on the inside. And while they're cooking, gracious goodness, the aroma will make your mouth water. Now, that's not just an accident. 4-point blue ribbon turkeys are raised in the best turkey-raising areas by experienced turkey growers. Then they're scientifically fed to make them plump and juicy and tender. Next, they're expertly dressed the way you'd do it yourself. And finally, the ones that reach your Kroger store are specially chosen to please hard-to-please folks like you. Just you order a 4-point blue ribbon turkey and see. Remember, only your Kroger store has them. And now, Hearts in Harmony. Penny's worries about a job are over. She's going to work with Professor Rogers as his laboratory assistant as soon as his new lab is open. But last night the professor phoned Penny and said he'd be out of town a few days, and though he assured her she would go to work for him, and maybe sooner than planned, Penny is worried as to whether or not she'll get the job at all. But Nora Williams tells her,
"Oh, crickets, Miss Gibbs, I'm sure the professor will keep his promise to you."
Oh, I'm not worried about the professor keeping his promise, Nora. I'm worried about why he had to go out of town.
Hmm?
If it has something to do with the experiment, it may have an effect on my job.
But you said it would only mean that you'd go to work sooner than you expected.
Well, that might have been the professor's way of telling me that something's gone wrong, that plans have been changed. Maybe he'll have to drop the experiment altogether. And in that case, there goes my job.
Oh, I'll keep my fingers crossed for you, Miss Gibbs.
Thanks, Nora. I guess we'd better cross all our fingers.
Oh, I just know it'll be all right. And it'll be awfully exciting working at the university, won't it?
Oh, I don't know, Nora. I've never worked at a university before.
Oh, it'll be just scrumptious. I just know it will. Oh, it'll be just like going to college.
I guess it will in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure I won't be taken for a co-ed.
Oh, you could be taken for one, Miss Gibbs. You look just super young for your age.
Oh, do I?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how old I am, Nora?
No, but you must be old. 25 at least.
Oh, and that's old.
No, but it's past your prime.
Oh, I hope not, Nora.
Oh, I didn't mean you were about to become a doddering old maid or anything like that, but, oh, gee whizzikers, at 25 you're all so settled and all that.
Not too settled, Nora.
No, I guess not if you still have young ideas. Young ideas. That's what my daddy says keeps people from growing old no matter how long they've lived.
Your father's a very intelligent man, Nora.
Mm-hmm.
He must be very young himself.
Oh, he seems young sometimes. And sometimes he seems very, very old.
That's not unusual. We all feel old sometimes.
I do, I know that. When Daddy feels old, I feel old, too. Seeing him so old is what does it, I guess.
That's probably it. You know, you've mentioned your father many times, Nora, but you've never told me anything about him. What's he like?
Oh, he's very big. And, he was just beautiful when he was young. But now he doesn't care much how he looks. Wears old clothes all the time, and I have to fight with him to shave. He'll almost never shave now, I guess, now that I'm not there to make him do it.
Well, I understand no man likes to shave.
Well, it isn't that Daddy doesn't like to shave. He just doesn't want to bother. He says there's no reason anymore. Oh, he lives in the country and works in a mill. Nobody ever looks at him anyhow.
Nora. Is something the matter? I mean, something you'd like to tell me about?
No, Daddy wouldn't like me to tell anybody anything about him. He says it's better if people don't know about him at all.
Oh, I'm sure that's not true.
Crickets, Miss Gibbs. I don't think it's true either. Daddy's just super. And, Oh, he has such a wonderful laugh when he laughs. Makes me happy for hours after I hear it. You know, I try to do funny things just to make him laugh sometimes, because I know it makes him feel better to laugh, too.
Nora, you told me once that your mother died a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Is that why your father feels the way he does?
I guess so, Miss Gibbs. Though when I ask him why he's unhappy, he says he isn't, and that he was just made that way. But I know that's not true.
Maybe you'd like to bring him here with you someday.
Oh, I don't know.
Nora, maybe if he saw that you were happy here and how much all of us like you, maybe he'd feel better. Maybe he's unhappy about you, Nora.
I've wondered about that, but, oh, gee, crickets, Miss Gibbs. I'd never get him to come here. He'd say he didn't belong.
Well, you tell him he does. He's welcome here any time he likes.
Thank you, Miss Gibbs. I'll ask him. But I know the answer will be no. He never does anything I ask him to do. He just goes to work and then comes home and sits. You know, he wouldn't even plant a garden this year. He said he just couldn't do it.
Why not? I should think it'd be wonderful to have a garden out there.
Yeah.
Could be a grand thing. You live on a farm, don't you?
Oh, well, it's not exactly a farm, Miss Gibson. In fact, it's not exactly anything anymore.
Well, what is it?
Well, it was a big dairy once. All the buildings are still there and all kinds of contraptions that I don't understand. But it just sits there and Daddy doesn't even look at it.
Well, he's probably not interested in dairying. And he can't be blamed for that, Nora.
Oh, no, I don't blame him for anything. He wants to live in a little house in town, but, of course, we can't afford it. And you see, we own the farm. It was left to us when Mother died.
Oh, it was your mother?
Oh, crickets, I guess so. I don't know. Oh, it's all too complicated how he got it. Daddy told me once when he apologized for making me live out there, but I didn't understand it. Well, anyhow, it's ours, and we can live there free, and just between you and me, Miss Gibbs, I think it's just super.
I imagine it is, Nora. It's too bad you have to come to town to work. Living out there must be grand.
Oh, it would be if the farm were as pretty as it could be. I've wanted to do things to the place, but Daddy says it's a waste of money and time. I don't understand why, but I guess Daddy has a reason for thinking so.
I'm sure he has, Nora. There's a reason for almost everything, whether we understand it or not.
Daddy says that, too.
Well, then I'm sure you agree with me. Oh, golly, it's almost time for the baby's feeding, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I have it all ready, Miss Gibbs. Oh, excuse me, Miss Gibbs. There's the door.
No, never mind, Nora. I'll get it. Oh, you might start warming the baby's bottle. I'm sure she's going to wake up any minute and start screaming.
Oh, she won't scream at all, Miss Gibbs. She just never does.
Oh, she is a miracle baby, isn't she? Just a minute, I'm coming. Oh.
Good morning, Miss Gibbs.
Good morning, Professor Rogers.
Surprised, huh?
Oh, I should say so. Didn't you call me last night and tell me you were going out of town? Or did I dream it?
No, you didn't dream it, Miss Gibbs. I did call you, and I was going to leave in half an hour. But 20 minutes later, the trip was called off, and I couldn't see phoning you again at that hour of night.
Oh, that wouldn't have mattered. I was awake several hours after your call.
Oh, then I did upset you.
No, I just wasn't sleepy, I guess.
Oh, well, I hope you're not sleepy this morning. I want you to come up to the university with me and let me show you my file of laboratory reports so you'll know the kind of work you'll have to do.
Well, I really had planned on staying home and helping Nora with her housework this morning, but...
Well, I'm sure Nora can get along without you for a little while. And look, you're working for me now. I'm almost your boss, you know.
Oh, I'm not sure I like the way you said that, Professor.
Well, I just couldn't resist it, Miss Gibbs.
I know.
But I didn't mean it. And I'm sure you won't have any boss trouble with me.
Oh, let's not worry about that, Professor Rogers. Let's just hope that you don't have any employee trouble with me.
Well, let's hope for more than that, Miss Gibbs. Let's hope we don't have any trouble with each other from now on. I think we've caused each other enough trouble in our time,
Oh, crickets, do you have to ring the doorbell like that, whoever you are?
Hello, Nora.
Oh, Miss Dodge. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, dear. Will you tell Miss Gibbs that I'm here to see her, please?
Oh, crickets, I can't, Miss Dodge. She isn't here.
Oh, she's not?
Mm-mm.
Where is she?
She's up at the university with Professor Rogers.
With Professor Rogers?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But she should be back very soon. Oh, would you like to come in and wait?
No, thank you, Nora. I'd rather not. Not this afternoon.
Oh, I wish you could, Miss Dodge. I'm going to give the baby a bath in a little while, and she's just super adorable when she's getting her bath.
I'm sure she is. But I have more important things to do this afternoon, Nora.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, I'll tell Miss Gibbs you were here, but she'll be awfully disappointed she missed you.
Oh, don't bother to tell her, Nora. I imagine I'll see her myself sometime this afternoon.
Oh.
I think I'll go up to the university, too. You say she's with Professor Rogers?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't imagine he'll be hard to find.
So you see, Miss Gibbs, you'll really have to do a little studying before you can take over the job to your own satisfaction. It really isn't as easy as it sounds.
Oh, it sounds terribly complicated, Professor Rogers. You're sure you want me to take the job?
Oh, I'm very anxious for you to have it, Miss Gibbs. And if you'll study these sample reports for the next week or 10 days, by the time you're ready to start the job, you'll be an expert laboratory reporter.
Well, I don't know how expert I'll be, but I assure you I'll know more about the job than I do now. But what do I know now? Nothing.
Oh, well, don't let that worry you.
Well, it worries you, though, doesn't it?
Not in the slightest.
Okay, you're the boss. And if you're not worried, I won't be.
No, wait a minute, Miss Gibbs. Let's not start calling me the boss. We're not working on that basis.
Don't you think things will be a little more businesslike if we do?
Must they be too businesslike?
I think so. You see, someone's paying a lot of money for the laboratory in your experiment. Now, won't that somebody want his money's worth?
If the experiment is a success, Miss Gibbs, a lot of people will get a lot more than money.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. Oh, by the way, who gave the money for the new laboratory?
I don't know. And the University Finance Board won't tell me. The endowment was anonymous.
Well, someone is certainly a sincere philanthropist.
But definitely. Well, let's get back to these records. Now, you see this entry here?
Yes, I do.
Well, that shows the exact time the experiment was started. Now, in this column here, you'll see where the... Now, come in.
Hello, Professor.
Oh, Miss Dodge, hello.
Hello, Miss Dodge. How are you?
Oh, very well, thank you, Miss Gibbs. I dropped by your house, and Nora told me you were up here with the professor. Oh, I hope this is nothing private.
Oh, no, not at all.
Oh, I should say not, Miss Dodge. The university received the endowment for the laboratory I needed for my experiment.
Oh, I'm awfully glad to hear that. Oh, no, I'm not. Then you won't need the money I offered you. I'm sorry.
Well, it was generous of you, Miss Dodge, but I'm glad to say I won't need it.
That's too bad. Frankly, I was hoping I could obligate you in some way.
Well, thanks for admitting it.
Well, now I'm going to obligate myself to you.
Oh, you are?
Uh-huh, I am. I understand you need a secretary or assistant or something. I spent 4 rather foolish years in college, but I'm sure I learned enough to be of some help to you.
I'm sure you did, Miss Dodge, but the fact of the matter is I already have an assistant.
Oh, you have?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then get rid of her. I want the job.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Dodge. I can't do that. My assistant is Miss Gibbs here.
Oh, you?
I'm sorry, Miss Dodge, but I do need the job.
Oh, so you're the lucky girl, are you, Miss Gibbs? Well, how nice. How absolutely marvelous.
Madeline Dodge thinks it's fine that Penny is going to work for Professor Rogers. But does she mean it? And will this mean trouble for Penny? Be sure to listen to the next dramatic episode of Hearts in Harmony. With Christmas only 1 week off, here's good news for you ladies who like to prove that your family is right when they say Mom cooks the best bird of anybody. Because you know that no matter how good a cook you are, if the bird you put into your oven isn't perfect, it's not going to come out of your oven perfect. Listen closely now. Your Kroger store has the best birds in town. Yes, that's a fact that you can prove in your own oven. They're plumper when they come from your Kroger store. Plumper, more tender, juicier, better tasting, and with that real country fresh flavor. For instance, 4-point blue ribbon turkeys are better 4 ways. They're raised in the best turkey-raising areas by master turkey growers. Then they're expertly, scientifically fed to make their flesh firm and plentiful and melt in your mouth tender. Next, they're dressed with all the painstaking care you'd give to dressing a prize bird. And the ones that finally reach your Kroger store are specially selected to delight hard-to-please folks like you. Order a 4-point blue ribbon turkey at your Kroger store now. Now, your local announcer.
In just a moment, X-1. But first, how does one man get himself into so many impossible situations? Well, this is a question you'll probably ask yourself tomorrow night when you follow another hilarious misadventure of Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve. Yes, Gildy's eye for the ladies and his impulsive temperament managed to entangle him in a web of riotous circumstances. Be sure to join the romantic water commissioner, his neighbors, Judge Hooker, Mr. Peavy, and all the loyal Gildersleeve household as they romp through another episode of The Great Gildersleeve tomorrow night. And now stay tuned for X-1 on NBC.
X-1 salutes our Philadelphia station. Its new call letters, WRCV.
Countdown for blast-off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire.
From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of a future, adventures in which you'll live in a million could-be years on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents
X-1.
Tonight's story, Skulking Permit, by Robert Sheckley.
August 16th, year 2204. 2. Central Colonial Administrative Authority, Alpha Centauri Sector. From Colonial Contact Inspector 37. Subject, Planet New Delaware. Following the procedure outlined in manual for contact with lost colonies, open communication by interstellar radio with New Delaware. This is the first contact established in 200 years. And proceeding on overdrive for personal investigation, situation on New Delaware appears unconventional, to say the least.
Hi there. Hi, Billy.
Hi, Tom. Got no time for talking this morning. Got to get this sign up.
It's a real pretty sign. No aliens allowed within city limits. What's an alien?
Beats me. The mayor told me to put it up. He says to me, Billy Painter, you're chief of police, so I want you to paint me a big sign and set it right in front of the town hall.
Aliens. Aliens. Oh, it's a real pretty word.
Billy Painter, I thought I told you.
Take it easy, Mayor. I put the sign up.
It's not that, it's the church.
I painted it just like you told me.
I know, but you painted it wrong.
I painted that church with a nice bright red. What's wrong with that?
I looked it up. It's a little red schoolhouse, not church house. Churches are supposed to be white.
Can't keep track of them all. Schoolhouse, church house, jail, post office. Got along fine enough in New Delaware for 200 years without them.
I know, but we need them now, and we haven't got much time. Where are the Carpenter boys?
I saw Sam and Marv over at Ed Beer's Tavern.
Well, Billy, you go down there and tell them that they've got to build us a little schoolhouse. And you paint it red. It's very important.
Mayor, when do I get a police chief badge? I read that a police chief always gets a badge.
Make yourself one. Now go on.
All right, then.
Oh, it sure is hot here. I don't know why the inspector couldn't have come in winter. Oh, Tom Fisher.
Yeah?
Tom, I've got a job for you, a very important job.
Well, now, look, Mayor, I'm on vacation. Fish won't be back in these waters.
No vacation, not now. He's due any day. Tom, how would you like to be a criminal?
I don't know. What's a criminal?
Well, come over to my house and I'll explain. I've got to appoint a criminal, and it looks to me like you're it. You don't mind sitting right next to the interstellar radio, do you? I'm waiting for a call.
Thought that thing was broken.
No, it wasn't broken. My father told me always to leave the monitor on recording in case. Just didn't seem to be anybody calling, not for 200 years. Not since that war back on Earth. Oh, it's time now. You just listen, Tom. They said that they would call just at this time.
New Delaware, do you hear me? New Delaware, come in immediately.
Yes, we hear you. He's very touching.
This is Colonial Inspector 37. As I told you in my broadcast yesterday, there's been no contact with the outer colonies for some centuries due to unsettled conditions here. But that's over, except for a little mopping up. Now, New Delaware is still a colony of Earth and subject to her laws. Do you acknowledge that status?
Oh, yes. We called a town meeting last night and talked it all over. We're still loyal to Earth.
Excellent. That saves us the trouble of sending an expeditionary force to reconquer you. However, as Colonial Contact Inspector, I will be obliged to make a personal investigation to make sure that you conform fully to the customs, institutions, and traditions of Imperial Earth.
Imperial? That's funny. All the books talk about Earth as a united democracy.
Well, a lot can change in 200 years. And, of course, there's been a war.
Do you hear me, New Delaware?
Oh, yes. Yes, sir. We hear you.
You realize, of course, there is room for only one intelligent species in the universe. Man. All others must be suppressed, wiped out. We can tolerate no aliens. I'm sure you understand, General.
I'm not a general. I'm a mayor.
You're in charge, aren't you?
Yes, yes.
Then you're a general. Now be sure you're running an Earth colony, General, with no radical departures from the norm, such as free will, free speech, free elections, or anything else on the proscribed list. It is impossible to administer an empire where everyone does as he pleases. Get your colony in order, General. I will call to inspect you in exactly 1 week. That is all.
Well, you see how it is, Tom. Now, Tom, about your job. I'm appointing you town criminal.
I don't see why there has to be a criminal.
That's a very important part of Earth society. All the books say so, Tom. The criminal is as important as the postman or the police chief. He works against society. If you don't have people working against society, how can you have people working for it? How can there be any more important job?
Well, I don't want to do it.
Now, be reasonable, Tom. Put yourself in my position. This inspector comes and he meets Billy Painter, our police chief. He asks to see the jail. Then he says, no prisoners? How can I hold my head up and tell him that we don't have any crime? No crime, he'll say. But Earth colonies always have crime. Don't you see that, Tom? Right there, the whole thing falls through. He'll see that we're not truly Earth-like. We're faking it. We're aliens. And you heard what he said about being rough on aliens.
Well, yeah, but why me?
Can't spare anyone else. And you've got narrow eyes. Criminals always have narrow eyes.
Well, they aren't that narrow.
Tom, please, we're all doing our part. You want to help now, don't you?
Oh, I suppose so.
Fine. You're our criminal. Here, I've got this paper all made out for you, just to make it legal.
Skulking permit.
Know all men by these presents that Tom Fisher is a duly authorized thief and murderer. He is hereby required to skulk in dismal alleys, haunt places of low repute, and to break the law.
What's the law?
I'll let you know as fast as I make them up. All Earth colonies have laws.
Oh, well, what do I do?
You steal and kill. Look, I'll give you a couple of books on it. Steal as much as you like. One murder should be enough. Don't overdo it.
It don't sound sensible somehow.
Well, you can work up to it, Tom. Why don't you start off easy like by haunting a place of low repute?
Hello, Tom. I hear you're our official criminal now.
That's right. I have a beer.
How's it going?
Well, I've been studying. I can't put my finger on it yet.
Hey, did you get the weapons Mary Carpenter sent over?
Yeah, a hatchet, a spear, 2 knives, and a blackjack.
Uh-huh.
I stuck myself with a spear, Ed. The whole thing ain't sensible to me. I can't figure out what's the purpose of crime. What do people get out of it?
Here's the beer. I tried a new route this time. Tell me how you like it.
Very dry. Less filling.
How come you ain't out thieving now, Tom?
Oh, I'm planning. My permit says I have to haunt places of low repute, and that's why I'm here.
Well, this ain't no place of low repute.
You serve the worst meals in town.
I know. My wife can't cook. But there's a real friendly atmosphere here. The folks like it, Tom.
It's all changed, Ed. I'm making this tavern my headquarters. It's now a criminal lair.
Try to keep a nice place, and a lot of thanks you get.
Hi, Tom. You steal anything yet?
Oh, well, not yet, Mary, no.
I'll have a Paracuda, Ed. Don't worry, Tom. You'll catch on. If anyone in this village can learn, you can.
Sure, we got confidence in you, Tom.
Why don't you steal something right now, Tom? Go ahead.
Well, suppose I could.
I brought some geefers in my basket. They're real ripe. You could steal those.
Well, they are nice-looking geepers, Mary. Real tasty.
Go ahead, Tom. Steal it.
Well, These are nice-looking geepers. Mind if I take one out of the light and look at it?
No, Tom, you go right ahead.
Now, just a minute there.
Hi, Billy. What do you have?
I'm on official police business. What were you doing with that geefer, Tom?
Just looking at it.
I don't think you were just looking at it, Tom. I think you were planning on stealing it. You're a suspicious character. I think I better lock you up for further questioning.
No, Billy. What are you doing?
I'm doing my duty, Mayor. Tom here is looking mighty suspicious. The book says...
I know what the book says. I gave you the book. You can't go arresting Tom, not yet.
But there's no other criminal in the village.
Oh, Billy, don't you understand? This village needs a criminal record. Acting suspiciously isn't a crime.
All right, but I was just trying to do my job. I'll still get you, Tom. Remember, crime does not pay.
Hey, that's a real slick way of putting it, isn't it?
I thought it was kind of catchy. I read it in a book.
Well, Tom, go ahead now. Steal something.
Well, I'm not in the mood anymore.
You better get to it soon, and don't forget the murder.
Is it really necessary?
Oh, I wish it weren't, but this colony has been here for over 200 years, and we haven't had a single murder. Not one.
I suppose we should have one. No, I'll take care of it.
Good boy, Tom. We're counting on you. Billy, I want you to paint up a couple hundred signs saying private property, no trespassing, violators will be prosecuted, and a dozen saying speed limit 35 miles an hour.
Why? All we got is those quag horses, and they won't go faster than a walk.
Never mind. You got to have a speed limit. It's civilized. Well, that's the last of the signs, Billy. You might as well get some sleep.
Aren't you going home, Mayor?
No, I've got to get out to Fred Farmers. I appointed him postmaster. Since nobody ever sends letters around here, I promised to help him write all those letters.
Well, good night, Mayor. I guess I better be making my rounds.
Yeah, good night, Billy.
Who's that? Tom? Tom Fisher? You out thieving? Who's there? Don't move, or I'll shoot. Hey, Tom, come back.
Hey, what's going on out there? What's all the racket?
It's the town criminal, Ed. I think I heard him robbing your house.
Yeah?
He's made his getaway now, but don't you worry. I'll get him yet.
All right, but get him in the morning, will you? Some of us are trying to sleep.
Morning, Marv. How's the schoolhouse coming?
Fair. Would have come along better if I had my saw.
Your saw?
Yeah. I left it leaning against my door last night. Wasn't there this morning, Tom.
Oh, yeah, your saw. Well, you know how it is, Marv. I had to practice some skulking last night.
Yeah, sure. Say, do you suppose I could use the saw for a while, just for an hour or two?
Well, I don't know. It's legally stolen, you know.
Well, I'd give it back. I wouldn't keep anything that was legally stolen.
Well, it's in the house with the rest of the loot.
Okay, I'll go borrow it then.
Tom, I've been looking for you.
Morning, Mayor.
Did you steal my bronze plaque?
I certainly did.
Oh, well, I was just wondering. You did it just in time. You see up there?
What?
Up there, the black dot near the rim of the sun.
Oh, what is it?
Well, I'll bet it's the inspector's ship. You got your murder planned? Time is running short, Tom. The inspector may land any hour now. That darn radio's been yapping at me something about a revolt at Deng 4, and all Earth colonies are to prepare for conscription, whatever that is. So let's get that killing over with.
I don't know, though. Murder...
Now, look, Tom, criminals on Earth commit dozens of murders a day and think nothing of it. All this village wants of you is one little killing. Is that too much to ask? Now, who will it be, Tom?
Oh, I guess I'll kill George Waterman.
Why?
Why? Why not?
What's your motive?
I thought you just wanted to murder. Who said anything about a motive?
We can't have a fake murder. On Earth, every murderer has a motive.
Well, I don't like the way George walks, never did, and he's noisy.
No. That might be good enough for a crime of passion, but you're a legal criminal. Tom, you're ruthless, cold-blooded, and cunning. You can't kill someone just because you don't like the way he walks. That's silly.
I better think the whole thing over.
Well, don't take too long. Oh, and Tom, don't forget to leave clues. They're very important.
Have another beer, Tom.
I don't mind if I do.
Hey, how do you like the way I fixed the tavern over? I hung up dirty curtains, you know. That makes it a dismal retreat. Because I figured if this was going to be your headquarters, it ought to be a real criminal's lair. How do you like the bloodstains on the floor?
That's only Billy Painter's rootberry red paint.
Oh, I know, but it looks like bloodstains. Hey, how's the murder coming?
Oh, not so good. No, I've been thinking about it, Ed. Do you realize I'm supposed to kill somebody? I'm supposed to make somebody cease to exist. I mean, like, take Marv Carpenter. Here he is today working on a schoolhouse, big fella. Now, if I kill him, well, he wouldn't work anymore. I've been trying to imagine it. Marv Carpenter lying on the ground with his eyes glaring open and his mouth twisted and never going to hold a piece of wood in his hands again or never going to sing a song or have a beer or anything. Well, it just made me kind of sick. I mean, I could go on with the thieving, but murder...
Yeah, I know, but, Tom, it's your job. It's for the good of the village.
Murder. I better have another beer. Hey, what's that?
That must be the inspector's ship landing. Come on, let's go see.
Perimeter guard advance. Set up portable generators and rocket launchers. All personnel restricted to immediate area of the ship. Sidearms to be worn at all times. And guards at battle station.
Welcome to New Delaware.
Thank you, General. I'm the inspector. This is Mr. Grant, my political advisor.
Is this the capital of the colony?
Well, I'm afraid there's only this village on the whole of New Delaware.
Only one? Now, Grant, I told you when we surveyed the planet we were wasting our time.
Patience. There's always an advantage in every situation.
If you gentlemen are ready...
Ready?
You're going to inspect our village, aren't you?
Inspect? I can see it all.
Why, of course, General. We're ready. Let's inspect your village.
You see, we've got it all. Jail, post office, church, little red schoolhouse. Oh, we're very normal, very earthy.
Grant, I have my efficiency rating to think of. This place is worthless. No smelting, no heavy industry, no atomics, no taxation, no... They don't have anything.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, Inspector. If you'll excuse us, General.
Of course.
I'll be downgraded at the next colonial board. Why, this place is a utopia. It's subversive. We ought to blow it right out of the sky.
No, don't be despondent, Inspector.
But this whole trip is a total waste of time.
Not entirely. New Delaware has a very important commodity for us.
What? You saw them? Hulking peasants? Nothing but farmers.
Yes, strong, healthy farmers. Good cannon fodder.
But...
Oh. Ooh, let me take over. General.
Yes, sir?
How many able young men are there in the village between the ages of 15 and 60?
Why?
You see, General, Imperial Earth is engaged in a war. The colonies in Deng 4 are revolting against the authority of Mother Earth.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
We need good, healthy fighting men. Our reserves are depleted.
We wish to give all loyal colonists a chance to fight for Mother Earth. We're sure you won't refuse. Most colonies welcome a little conscription. Cleanses the blood, reduces crime.
Crime? Oh, I thought that would come up. We've taken care of that. I appointed...
Now, you see, Grant, 60, 70, perhaps 100 recruits. Not such a waste of time coming here at all.
Perhaps not.
Sergeant, detail a squad of 50 men armed with portable heat generators to post a guard in the village. All right, Mr. Mayor. Suppose we go talk this problem over.
Tom, you out there?
Yeah. I've been skulking out here all day. I'm hungry.
Well, I brought you supper. The mayor sent you a message, Tom. He said to hurry up at the murder. He's been stalling the inspector and that nasty little Grint man, but they're going to ask him. They're sure to.
All right. I'll get around to it tonight. Hey, wait a minute.
Oh, hello, Tom. What are you doing?
Well, you said there had to be a murder, so
Now, wait. I didn't mean me. It can't be me.
Well, why not?
Well, for one thing, somebody has to talk to the inspector. He's waiting for me. Someone has to
Billy
show him
Painter
how
can do that. You think a knife would be more fatal in the heart or in the throat? Well, nothing personal, of course.
Wait. If there's nothing personal, then you have no motive.
Oh. Well, I guess I could think of one. I've been pretty sore about you appointing me town criminal.
It was the mayor who appointed you, wasn't it?
Well, sure.
Then look, I'm not a mayor anymore. I'm a general. Look, it's stars, gold braid.
Well, what's that got to do with it?
Well, you missed the ceremony this afternoon, Tom. Inspector said I had to wear a general's uniform. It was a very friendly ceremony. All the Earthmen were grinning. They were winking at me and at each other.
Oh, congratulations. But you were the mayor when you appointed me criminal, so my motive still holds.
Yes, but killing a general isn't murder, it's mutiny.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's just that I've read up on it, and you haven't. Well, I better get back. The inspector wants a lot of the men that he can draft.
Are you sure this murder is necessary?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Just not me.
No luck, huh, Tom?
I just can't do it. Ed, I can't kill anybody in the village. I grew up with them. I've worked with them. I've drunk root beer with them. I don't have any motive for killing any of them.
I know, but you do have to commit a murder, Tom. You don't want to let the village down.
But I can't kill the people I've known all my life.
No, I suppose not.
Wait a minute. I got an idea. Ed, suppose I kill the inspector.
Well, what's your motive?
Oh, it would be a very terrible crime. I'd be killing for glory, for fame, for notoriety, and it'll show Earth how earthy New Delaware really is. Why, they'll say crime is so bad here that a criminal actually killed their inspector on the very first day.
Tom, that's just the sort of thing a master criminal would do.
Oh, you think it's a good idea, huh?
I think it's great, Tom. But how are you going to do it?
Well, one of those soldiers got drunk on a bottle of your Keebler juice and dropped his gun. I picked it up.
Oh, is that a gun?
Yeah, you push this button here.
Hey, look out!
I'm sorry, Ed.
Now I'll have to get the carpenter boys to fix that hole in the roof.
Oh, well, I'll be careful.
Did you kill the soldier?
Of course not. No point in killing the wrong man. Well, I better get going. I'll wait for him on the path between the mayor's house and the ship.
Good luck, Tom.
Thanks.
Up, 2, 3, 4. Keep in line there. Ah, what a sloppy crew. All left feet.
Well, it's a nice work. With those landing parties dying like flies, we can use every new man we can get.
Don't say that.
What, are you afraid the mayor will hear me? Don't be ridiculous. It's a completely passive population. Sheep-like, obedient.
Look at them. No two of them in step.
Well, what do you expect from backward agrarians? Wait till those sergeants get hold of them at the base. They'll whip them into first-class fighting men in no time.
Halt! Stand and deliver!
What's that? Why, it's Tom.
Hands up, Inspector.
Huh?
I got you covered. Now, the rest of you drop your guns and move out of the way.
What? Now, see here.
Now, go on, now, drop those guns.
Now, what's the meaning of this?
And who are you?
Tom Fisher. I'm the town criminal. I'm going to kill the inspector. Now, please move out of the way.
Criminal? So that's what the mayor was prattling about.
Now, I know we haven't had any murders in 200 years, but I'm changing that now. Now, move out of the way.
Well, I suppose I'd better get out of the line of fire.
No, wait a minute. Wait.
Now, don't move. I know just how to do it. I've been thinking about it. Now, I'll push this button, and you'll die. You'll fall down on the path, and your eyes will open, and your mouth twisted, and no air going in and out of your lungs, and no beat to your heart, and I can't do it. Here's your gun. Take it. I don't want it.
Quick! After him! Sergeant, take a squad and search the forest.
Take it easy, Inspector. This whole planet is forest. 10,000 men couldn't find him if he doesn't want to be.
But I'll have him hanged on the spot.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry.
Sergeant, have the entire ship's company turned out. General, I want all your people out looking for him. Shoot out sights. Kill him instantly.
Oh, we couldn't do that. Although we appreciate the compliment.
What? That man...
He's a criminal. That's what I'm trying to explain. I appointed him. We had to have one.
You what?
You mean you had no criminals?
Well, I'm afraid not. Oh, I'm terribly ashamed. You see, we knew how uncivilized we were. That's why we did it. I'm dreadfully embarrassed that Tom couldn't handle the job.
Well, why did you give the assignment to that particular man?
Well, I figured if anyone could kill, Tom could. He's a fisherman, you know. Pretty gory work. Oh.
And he wasn't able to kill the inspector.
Well, we just haven't had to kill anything for 200 years except fish. The only animals on New Delaware are small grass eaters, and they're not good to eat, so we never kill any of them.
Then the rest of you would be equally unable to kill?
we wouldn't even get as far as Tom did.
I want that man found.
Forget about it, Inspector.
What?
We better get away from here. You want men in our army who can't kill?
Oh.
Think of it. A morale problem. The possibility of infection. One man in a key position endangering a key ship or maybe a whole fleet because he can't kill. It isn't worth the risk, Inspector.
Yes, sir. I see what you mean.
Order your troops back to the ship. We'll take off at once.
Tom! Tom, you can come out now. Tom, they're gone.
He's hiding around here somewhere, Mayor.
Yeah. Tom! Tom!
Here I am. I'm sorry I bungled it.
Well, don't feel bad about it. It was an impossible job.
I'm afraid it was. I thought that just possibly you could swing it, but you can't be blamed, Tom. There's not another man in the village who could have done the job even as well.
What are we going to do with all those buildings, Mayor? The jail, the post office, the little red schoolhouse, the church?
Well, I think we'll build a playground for the kids with swings and slides and sandboxes for them.
Another playground?
Surely, why not?
Well, I guess I won't be needing my skulking permit anymore.
No, I guess not. Oh, well, we did our best.
I had the chance, then I let you all down.
It's not your fault, Tom. Look how long it took Earth to get civilized. Thousands of years. And we were trying to do it in 2 weeks.
Well, we'll just have to go back to being uncivilized.
Yeah.
Well, we better get back to the village. Looks like rain.
Well, soon I'll start fishing again. Say.
What is it, Tom?
Oh, it's too late now, but it's too bad I didn't think of it before. I might have been able to go through with it.
Think of what, Tom?
I think I could have done it. If I'd only had the sense to think of the inspector as a fish. Well, it's too late now. Guess he's just a big one. It got away.
You've just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, which this month features an unusual story by James E. Gunn, Cylona, a story of what happened when crime suddenly invaded a crimeless society, and where the only way to catch a thief was to manufacture a thief. Galaxy Magazine, on your newsstand today. Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you Skulking Permit, a story from the pages of Galaxy, written by Robert Sheckley and adapted for radio by Ernest Kenoy. Featured in the cast were Dick Hamilton, Wendell Holmes, Joe DeSantis, Joseph Boland, Alan Hewitt, Bill Quinn, Mandel Kramer, and Ruby Dee. Your announcer, Jack Costello. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production.
Let's visit Fibber McGee and Molly tonight on the NBC Radio Network. In just a moment, X-1. But first, when you hear the hearty laugh and familiar voice of the great Gildersleeve tomorrow night, you know you're in for some hilarious adventures. Because wherever Gildy is around, why, somehow things never seem to go as planned. It might be his impulsive nature, or maybe it's his incurable weakness for the fairer sex. But whatever it is, the great Gildersleeve is bound to keep you laughing for a full 30 minutes. Tune in tomorrow night. Meet Judge Hooker, Nephew Leroy, Housekeeper Bertie, and all the rest of the friendly people from Somerville as they join the great Gildersleeve. And now stay tuned for X-1 on NBC.
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million could-be years on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents
X minus 1.
Tonight's story, Junkyard, by Clifford D. Simak.
The funny thing about the whole thing was the fact that we had never intended to land on Planet 9. We circled it and decided it was strictly a low-grade affair, wouldn't amount to anything for 1 billion years or so. As commander of a galactic survey team, I couldn't waste my time on it. Then my exec saw this junkyard through the telescope. We landed, took a look at a load of alien machine parts discarded by some other spaceship, and then prepared to take off for Earth. It had all been a waste of time.
Engine room, MacGyver.
This is Commander Warren. All secure?
Yes, sir.
Very well. Countdown for blastoff.
Engine room ready, sir.
X minus 5. Minus 4. Minus 3. Minus 2. Minus 1. Fire. Mac, what's wrong down there?
Well, I don't know, sir.
Brady, get the data analyzer ready. We'll have to correct for a new takeoff time.
That's the first time I ever heard of engine failure before takeoff.
Well, better before than after. Engine room?
Yes, sir.
What's happening? You boys ready yet?
No, sir.
Well, burn it, man. Get going. I want those engines started.
Sir.
What is it?
I don't quite know what to say.
Well, say something or I'll have you busted.
We can't start the engines, Commander. At least I can't.
Well, why not?
I don't know.
Klein. Put Klein on.
Lieutenant Klein, sir.
Lieutenant, what is going on down there? Is there something wrong with the engines?
No, sir. I've double-checked them.
Well, then let's get them heated up or we'll be on this godforsaken planet the rest of our lives.
We can't do it, sir.
Klein, suppose you tell me exactly why you can't start the engines. Can you do that?
Yes, sir.
All right, why?
Because, sir, we can't remember how.
What?
Yes, sir. We've forgotten how to start the engine.
Lieutenant, report up here in 1 minute. Bring Dr. Spencer with you.
Yes, sir.
All right, Brady, where have you got it?
Got what, Ira?
Don't play innocent. You and I have been doing planet surveys together for 15 years. You carry enough dead weight in grain alcohol on every trip to keep you happy for 1,000,000 light years. Now, obviously, the boys in the engine room have gotten into it.
Impossible.
Where is it?
I got a few fists in my locker, but nobody's touched it. I checked a few minutes ago.
Well, then somebody has got some in the engine room. Come in.
Lieutenant Klein, sir, I brought Dr. Spencer as ordered.
Hello, Doc. Did Klein here tell you what's going on?
He did.
How long will it take you to get these guys sobered up?
I can't.
Why not?
Because they're not drunk. I tested Klein in my office.
Now, wait a minute, Doc. Are you trying to get me to actually believe that these men, intergalactic engineers with years of high-proficient experience, have forgotten how to start the engines of this ship?
That's right.
You're serious?
Dead serious, Ira. Something, somehow, has caused these men to forget how to start the engines.
There it was. It fit in perfectly with a lot of other annoying little things that have been happening to us ever since we put down on Planet 9. It was to have been a routine exploration of a low-grade uninhabited planet. Some routine exploration. All right, Klein, now listen to me. Do you have manuals aboard, engineering manuals?
Yes, sir.
Take the engine room boys and study those manuals. They'll tell you how to start the ship, won't they?
Yes, sir.
Okay, get going. Doc, I'd like you to stay here with me and Brady for a minute.
Okay.
Report back to me, Klein.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Doc, you're supposed to be an expert on space medicine. What is it?
I've never seen anything like it, Ira.
Brady?
Search me, Captain. I've seen them with space blues, alien psychoses, the works. But I've never seen a disease that could make a crew forget how to start the engines.
Maybe it isn't a disease.
Okay, what then?
Maybe it's a deliberate thing.
You mean they're faking?
No, I know Klein and the others too well for that. I mean, maybe there's some outside influence.
Doc, we've surveyed this planet from top to bottom. We know there isn't a living cell on it.
What about the junkyard?
What junkyard?
Oh, he means that pile of rusty space engine parts we found. The boys nicknamed it the junkyard.
He's right. Somebody put it there.
Well, we know that another spaceship landed here. We know that from the blast marks on the rock. We know that for some unexplained reason they took their engine apart and tried to put it together again. And we know they succeeded in building a much simpler engine,
leaving a lot of spare parts, and we know that they took off. The blast-off marks tell us that, too.
What we don't know is whether or not they left somebody behind. Or something.
What about that stone tower, Ira?
The boys looked it over. It's just a pile of stones. They probably threw them together as a shelter while they were rebuilding their engine.
Oh, that sounds too simple.
I don't like that tower, Ira.
Why not?
I don't know. It was scary. It had that black look about it. The smell of death. I felt it when I walked past with Klein and MacIver.
Oh, that's the Celt in you. Banshees and spooks.
I still don't like it. I need a drink.
Skip it. We should be ready to blast off in a few minutes. Engine room. Engine room. What's going on down there? Engine room. Lieutenant Klein.
Daddy. Is that you, Daddy? Did you bring me a present? Daddy, I'm scared.
Holy mackerel, that's Klein. He's gone off his rocker. Klein! Doc, I think we better get down to that engine room. When Doc examined Klein, he found him to have the mind and memory of a 6-year-old.
That's it, Ira. Something drained Klein of his memory. And that's as much as I can tell you.
Well, that's a big help.
Here's the manual he was reading.
Well, at least we can follow this manual and get off this stinking planet. Hand it to me.
Right here. Anything wrong, Ira? Is it all there?
It's all here, Doc. This is the engine manual that tells all about the engines. How they operate, how to locate trouble, how to fix them, how to start them.
Well, what is it then? You're sweating like a pig.
All of a sudden, I can't remember the symbols. Doc, I've forgotten how to read. I left the engine room and went out through the lock to stand on the outside platform of the ship. I looked over the junkyard where the metal of the rusted engine parts gleamed. There was a riddle there. A riddle we hadn't been able to figure out. Why had an alien spaceship landed here, ripped out its engines, and then put together a simple, less efficient engine and taken off again? And they had worked in an awful hurry, judging by the mess they left. Why? Why?
Mind if I join you, Ira?
No, help yourself, Doc. How's Klein?
We've made him some toys. He's playing with them. I've assigned Mac to see that he doesn't hurt himself.
Doc.
Yes?
Have you got any ideas on what's happening to us?
Well, man experiences incidents, gathers knowledge, knows emotions. Then, as he grows older, he begins to forget those experiences, forget that knowledge. That's what life is, a long series of forgettings. Here, on 9, in some impossible way, the forgetting is speeded up. It happens overnight.
No, there's more to it than that. Well, I'm going back to my cabin and try to get some rest.
That you, Ira?
That's me, Batters.
What gives?
We're in a jam.
There's been planets I wouldn't mind being marooned on, you know. But this ain't one of them. There's something here, Ira. I can feel it.
Yes, I can feel it myself. Maybe we should have looked around more.
Klein looked around. Klein was the one found that tower.
Bertie, that's right. He did.
He said he didn't like it. He said it scared him.
In the morning, Bat Ears, we'll go and see that tower. In the morning, I took Doc and MacIver and Brady with me, and we walked across the valley to the stone tower. It wasn't much of a tower, maybe 8 or 9 feet high, made of rocks piled one on top of the other.
Pretty solid. Well built and odd. Type F culture, I'd say.
Did anybody bother to look inside this thing? MacIver, you were here with Klein yesterday.
Yes, sir. We couldn't find a way in, Captain. Klein poked around but gave up.
Well, we'll make a way in. Stand back. I think I can shoot the top off it. Oh, no, that should be big enough for a man to lower himself into. Okay, pass a rope around my shoulders.
Captain.
Yes?
In case there's anything, well, dangerous, maybe I ought to go. After all, I'm survey engineer.
MacIver's right, Ira.
Okay, Mac, your responsibility.
Yes, sir. Just fasten the rope under my arm.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Now, I'll climb up and lower myself in. If I pull twice, haul me out. One pull means okay. Give me a hand, Brady. Huh?
How about a quick shot of whiskey first?
Never touch it. Ready? Yep.
Can you see inside?
Black as a tomb. I'm going to lower myself. Pay out a little rope. Well, it's been lovely. Here we go.
One tug. He's on the ground inside.
I wonder what he's found.
I still don't like it.
Oh, Brady, there's probably another thing in there except the few... There's 2 tugs. 3. Come on, haul them out.
Brady, help me pull the top.
Right. Easy now, Mac. What the heck is in there, anyway? Mac? Mac?
Dada.
Holy jumping asteroids. Doc, he's flipped.
No, he hasn't lost his mind. He's just reverted to babyhood.
We stood there at the foot of the tower, stunned. MacIver sat on the ground, happy as a clam, playing with his fingers and talking happy little nonsense syllables. Doc, take a look at him. Make sure that he's okay physically.
Check. If it's fright, his pulse will be way up. Mac, let me have your hand. That's a good fellow. Now. Good heavens.
What is it?
I've forgotten what the normal pulse rate is. Pulse?
Doc, let's get out of here. Brady, pick up MacIver and bring him back to the ship. Come on, let's get away from this tower. A few minutes later, Brady and I sat in the captain's quarters. He didn't do much talking, just sat and tipped his bottle to his lips ever so often. Well, at least we know in a general way what we're up against.
Do we?
We know there's been knowledge lost, important information forgotten.
Check.
Now, that memory, that lost skill, that knowledge went somewhere. Maybe there's something in that tower that takes it away. And I have a silly feeling we might even get it back.
Have a drink.
That is, get a couple of men, volunteers.
Now?
Now.
What for?
We're going to find out what's inside that tower. We lowered a rotating infrared movie camera into the tower, took some pictures, and went back to the ship for a look. There was something in there, all right.
Now, as far as we can determine, this thing we photographed is shaped like a watermelon standing on end. The movement of the hairs all over it suggests vibrations, such as an antenna of an insect. Underneath are wires leading to terminals that seemed plugged right into the thing.
You think it's a form of life?
My guess is a combination of living organism and machine. After all, man and machines work together. The difference is that man retains his individual identity.
Well, since it doesn't locomote, somebody or something must have put it there.
Exactly.
It looks like some kind of communication organism.
If it is, it's a communication machine that is built to take in information rather than pass it along.
Doc, do you really think that egg in there has been stealing our memory?
Why not?
Well, because it's too wild, that's why not.
It's no wilder than a lot of other things we found. Say that egg is a device for gathering knowledge.
But there's no knowledge here to gather. I mean, how often does a ship land on an out-of-the-way melon like this?
Wait a minute, Brady. Who says that knowledge has to be collected here?
What?
I said, why do we assume that knowledge has to be collected right here on Planet 9? We forget things back on Earth, don't we?
Good Lord.
Suppose you were some race setting out fish traps for knowledge, and you had plenty of time to gather it. Where would you put your traps? On a planet swarming with intelligent beings where the traps would be found and destroyed or their secrets snatched away? Or would you put them out on some second-rate world where nobody would ever bother them?
Good heavens, I'd pick a spot just like this.
Let me fill in this picture, Doc. I think that some unknown race is bent on trapping knowledge throughout the galaxy.
Ira, if what you say is true, if it is, then every time someone on Earth forgets something, it's because one of these eggs has drained it out of him.
Well?
It's too fantastic.
Have you got a better guess?
No.
Well, the question is, what do we do next? If anybody gets near that egg, he winds up like some puling little baby.
You were pretty near it that first day. Did you forget anything?
How should I know? I was too pleasantly lit up on grain spirits to know the difference.
Well, the question is still, what now?
I'm going outside to think.
Ira.
Yes?
There is one thing to keep in mind.
What is that, Doc?
If those are memory traps, then there must be a way for somebody to empty them. And if we're ever going to get away from here, what's gone in has got to come out.
I stood out on the platform of the ship and tried to make some sort of pattern of it. Forgetfulness. That was the key word. All through the galaxy, in every culture, there was forgetfulness. There were lots of learned theories, of course, kinks in the brain, neuroses, data processing. But suppose they were wrong. Might it not be that forgetfulness was caused by thousands upon thousands of these memory traps planted throughout the galaxy, nibbling away at the conscious memory of all the sentient beings that lived among the stars? On Earth, a man forgets slowly because the traps are far away. But here, in their very shadow, a man forgets suddenly. And then another thought entered my mind. What kind of race had set these traps? How did they empty them? How?
Brady.
Huh? Where do you keep your liquor?
Not cheap.
Come on, where?
It's in my locker.
Get it out of there, all of it.
Ira.
That's a direct order.
Okay.
All of it. That it?
Yeah. I never thought I'd see the day when you pulled rank on me, Ira. If you confiscate this stuff, so help me, I'll never
Who
forgive
said
you.
anything about confiscating? That is, have you ever really hung one on? I mean, just got pie-eyed drunk?
Well, let's see. Yeah, there was once on Mars.
Was that the worst?
It was beautiful. Took me 3 days to sober up. They say I fought off the whole galactic patrol for hours.
Well, do you think you got enough here to get that polluted again?
I got a pretty good supply, Ira.
Well, that's good, because in 1 minute, I'm going to give you a direct order to hang on the biggest, most monstrous drunk in the entire history of the universe. But first you have to volunteer.
I volunteer.
No, not until I explain why I'm doing this.
Ira, this sort of project don't need reasons. It's a pleasure.
Let me finish. You know that egg up in the tower?
Yeah?
The minute you get near it, it grabs your mind, wipes it clean, right?
Yeah.
And a lead space helmet doesn't shield you, as we saw with MacIver.
Right.
Now, Doc thinks this egg is a kind of communications thing.
It must be.
Okay, you're a communications man. What do you do when you can't shield a communication?
Well, that's easy. You scramble it. Any fool knows. Holy mackerel.
Exactly. Are you still game?
You think it'll work?
I don't know. I think it might.
Well, suppose it doesn't.
Maybe a babbling infant like Klein and MacIver.
If we don't stop that thing, it'll happen anyway.
Unless we can remember how to start the engines.
Okay, Ira. I'll do it. When do I start?
Right now.
Well, Ira, here's mud in your ever-loving intergalactic eyeballs. You know something? I'm beginning to like this mission already.
Well, that kills the last bottle.
How am I doing, Ira, old buddy?
You're not drunk enough. I should have picked somebody like Doc, except he'd probably pass out.
I'm not drunk enough, huh, old buddy pal?
Not yet.
Well, then, in which case, old buddy, I'm going to have to do something I never like to have to do.
What's that?
I'm going to have to go into my extra special emergency reserve supply. It's a little supply I keep in case of getting marooned on a planet, you know. I don't like to go into it, but in this case, it's my duty. I'm a rambling wreck from Georgia Tech and a heck of an engineer. A rambling wreck from Georgia Tech and a heck of an engineer. Woo! Blast off!
Okay, I guess you're ready. What do you think, Doc?
Most amazing thing I've ever seen.
Is he drunk enough?
What I want to know is what's keeping him conscious.
Okay, Bad Ears, on your feet. Help him up, Doc.
Right.
Rambling wreck from Georgia Tech.
Let's go, Bad Ears.
Right. Rambling wreck from Georgia Tech.
Somehow we pushed, hauled, and stumbled Bad Ears Brady out of the ship and up the rocks to the egg tower. We erected a tripod over the hole with a block and tackle, passed a rope around Brady's chest, and hauled him over the entrance to the tower. There he swung like some overstuffed pig, singing raucously under the eerie moonlight.
Ramblin' wreck from Georgia Tech.
Well, what do you say, Ira?
We got the earphones on him so they can't slip off.
They're on.
I guess we're ready to lower him.
Ira.
Yep.
You sure? It's a man's life.
I'm not sure, Doc. But as commander of this expedition, I sometimes have to risk the lives of my men.
Okay, Ira.
Lower away before I start to get sober. Lower away. Blast off. Fire 1. Fire 2. Bon voyage, Ira.
Good luck, Brady. Good luck.
He's at the bottom, Ira.
Yeah. That is, can you hear me?
Get your hands out of my hair. Something's got his hands in my hair, Ira.
Oh, the thing must be picking at his brain. Brady, listen to me. Do you see the egg?
See ya, this is my buddy, Ira. My little old egghead buddy. You and me's buddies, egghead, right? Have a drink.
Oh, good Lord, he's got a bottle with him. He's pouring it on the egg. Brady, listen to me. The wires.
Wires?
The lead wires you took in with you.
Yeah.
Pull out the studs on the egg and hook your wires to it. You got that?
Just a minute. We and Egghead's got to have a drink.
Oh, good heavens. It's no use, Ira. He's too drunk to know what he's doing.
I'll try again. Brady, listen. Your friend, the egg, can't hear you, see? He can't have a drink until you hook your wires into him. You got that?
Sure. That's an awful thing. That's dreadful. Okay.
What's he doing? Doc, you getting any impulses?
Not a thing.
Maybe we better haul him out. If he starts to sober up...
Maybe we'd better.
Okay, 1, 2...
Wait a minute, wait.
What?
I'm getting something, Ira. What? This is fantastic. Oh, I'm getting something.
All right, haul him out, quick. Come on.
Ramblin' wreck from Georgia Tech. Ramblin'...
Brady, are you all right? Doc, help me. Take a look at him. Is he okay?
Yes, he's okay. Just passed out.
Let's get him back to the ship.
Right. You know what, Ira?
What?
Tomorrow about 9 a.m., we're going to be in on the most colossal hangover in the history of mornings after.
We were in on more than Doc Spencer had bargained for. More than any human being had any business being in on.
Oh.
Well, Brady, how do you feel?
Shoot me.
You turned the trick. The tower. You hooked into the egg. The stuff is rolling out now. Doc and the boys have got a recording hooked up. The stuff they're listening in on is enough to set your teeth on edge.
What's that?
The information that mind trap has been collecting for hundreds of years. It'll take us years to sort it out, but we're getting some of it straight already.
Any of our own stuff?
Plenty.
Anything on engines?
Well, not on our engines.
So?
We got the dope on the Junkyard engine. Mac and the boys are helping to get it assembled. We're ripping out our own engines and just keeping some of the parts.
Another junkyard, huh?
Another junkyard. The engine we're building now is superior to anything ever built.
Pretty handy little gadget, that egg. Only one thing.
What's that?
Tell Doc if he comes across a good hangover remedy to let me know, huh?
Oh. It took us about 6 days to assemble new engines using some of our parts and some of the advanced designs from the junkyard. During most of that time, Doc Spencer sat down at the tower with a set of headphones monitoring the information from the egg. He was like a man possessed. I didn't think anything unnatural was happening until the night of the 6th day. Well, that does it. The boys have got the engines ready for blast-off. There's a full moon, too.
We should be able to lift her by tomorrow morning, huh?
We're blasting off in exactly 1 minute, that is.
What?
In exactly 1 minute.
But Ira, Doc, and some of the techno boys are down monitoring that egg.
I know it.
Well, it'll take them 20 minutes to get back into the ship with all that equipment.
They're not getting back.
Huh?
I said they're not getting back.
Ira, are you nuts?
Come here, that is. I want you to take a look through this field scope. You can get a good close-up of Doc and the boys who have been monitoring that egg.
Now, wait till I get it focused.
You got 'em?
Yeah.
Take a close-up.
Mother in heaven.
You see why we have to leave them here?
Those faces, they're like some kind of beast. What is it, Ira? What's happened to them?
The same thing that must have happened to the crew of the last ship that touched here. The same thing that made them blast out of here in such a tearing hurry.
What?
That is, there isn't only knowledge in that thing. Those boys are monitoring something else.
Something else.
Personality, that is. They're not human anymore. They're turning alien. They were still there when the ship roared up away from Planet 9 and pointed her silver nose toward Earth. We could see them in the scopes. A group of tiny figures crouched over the recording equipment, their earphones plugged into the egg. They didn't even look up when we blasted off. They were no longer human now. They were something else. Something 1,000,000 light years old and of another world.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production.
In the dark, mysterious South Pacific Ocean, a magnificent yacht is carrying its passengers and crew on a strange cruise. Jerry Hall has joined Mrs. Gregory and Captain Bradford on the Gregory yacht to aid in the search for Mrs. Gregory's little girl. Lost at sea when a baby, the girl has been reported living on a mysterious island. The yacht was anchored off a bank of what appeared to be fog, but was not natural fog. With the aid of apparatus designed by Captain Bradford, Jerry and his friends have looked over the fog and down onto the island. It is now after dark. The yacht is being drawn through the weird ring of fog, drawn without a sound toward the magic island.
But Jerry, how could we be pulled to the island by the same magnetic force that was pushing it away from it an hour ago?
Well, you see, Mrs. Gregory, magnetism works both ways. Maybe I can't explain it right, but anyhow, a magnet can either be fixed to attract or repel. Is that what I'm trying to say, Captain Bradford?
Well, at least you're heading in the right direction, Jerry. It's a poor electrical engineer that can't do tricks with an electromagnet and plenty of power.
Electrical engineer? I thought we'd find a tribe of savages on this island, if we found anything.
Yeah, that's what I figured, too. That old sailor, who lived on this island or visited or something, and then got away, he reported that he'd seen a little white girl living here with a strange race of savage people.
Well, I'm not so sure of that, son. Remember, we got the story over our shortwave in Los Angeles. At the same time, you got it over yours. And if I remember rightly, the report said a strange race of people, not a savage race.
Tex is right, Jerry. It did say a strange race. Of course, we naturally thought of savages as the only sort of people who might be living unknown to the rest of the world.
Well, we know now that the people who made all these scientific things we're running into are not savages. It looks to me like they know a whole lot of things we don't.
No doubt about it. And while we just stand and talk on this deck, a heavy yacht with 800 horsepower motors is drifting helplessly into something we know nothing about.
Well, let's quit talking and do something. We're drifting into that island pretty fast now.
We're inside the fog ring now. Oh, if only it wasn't dark.
We'll hit the island pretty soon. But, well, we're going slow. I guess it won't hurt the boat.
There's not a sound from anything.
Can't even hear a ripple of water. This water is oiled or treated with something to hold it still on the surface.
I can see a little light ahead. There's a yellow glow all over in front of us.
Nothing we can see distinctly, though. We're slowing up. The boat is barely moving.
Look, Tex. Can you see an outline there?
Where? No.
Where, Mrs. Gregory?
Just off the port beam, Jerry.
No. I don't see anything.
I do now. You're right, Pat. Look over here, kid. There's an arm jutting out. right alongside the rail.
Golly of whiskers. It looks like a dock. We're drifting right up to it.
Not drifting. Don't forget, son. We're being pulled.
That light ahead is getting more distinct. I can make out the shoreline now.
Funny shoreline. It looks so straight and smooth. See? See, it's shining in that yellow glow.
Hold it. Quiet, both of you. Not a sound.
We're rubbing against a dock, or a pier, or a landing of some kind.
I thought so. And the boat has nearly stopped.
It has stopped. We're not making any headway.
But the stern is swinging in near that landing. Gee, the boat acts as if it had a shoreline, and we're being snubbed in.
We are being snubbed in, and without a line. This yacht is being warped against that dock by the same force that pulled us through the fog bank and into this shelter.
But why don't we see somebody or something?
Or hear something. Gosh, any kind of a noise would sound good right now. Hey, we stopped. We're hard against the thing on the port beam.
Yes, we're here. And I'm afraid, Jerry, my boy, that we're actually on your magic island. Whether we want to be or not.
Want to be? Why, Tex, we've come thousands of miles to find this place. And my little girl.
Do you think we'll really find Joan here, Captain? Like the old sailor said?
We're liable to find most anything here.
Then let's start looking for it.
You better go into your cabin, Pat. And stay there while Jerry and I have the first look around.
I should say not. Wherever you two go, I'm going.
Where are we going, Tex?
We're going to step out on that dock, or ramp, or whatever it is, and see what happens.
Oh, boy. Let's go.
Steady, son. You go back and tell the skipper to stand by. Tell him he can quit worrying about his anchors. We're fastened to this island until someone else wants us to go.
Yes, sir.
And Jerry, tell the skipper to look sharp and give us a signal if anybody boards him.
I'll be right back, sir.
Oh, Tex, what do you think we'll find here? What's going to happen? What manner of people live here?
Hold on now, Pat. You know as much about all that as I do. We'll just have to ease ashore and keep snooping around until we find something.
Or if something finds us.
You better stay aboard, Pat.
I'm not afraid. That is, of course I'm afraid. Horribly afraid. But you're all here because of me. It's my little girl we're looking for. And I'll go wherever you go.
All right. You're the boss of this expedition.
Everything's shipshape aboard. I gave your orders to the skipper, Tex.
Any comments from him?
Well, he looked plenty worried. And he didn't even say as much as he usually does.
That would be only one word at a time.
This time he just nodded his head.
All right, now here's our situation as I see it. There's no use making any plans as to what we intend to do, because we haven't the faintest idea what conditions we'll find when we get ashore. Now, we'll just step over on that landing there, keep close together, and walk toward that yellow glow of light.
Whatever you say, Tex.
Aye, aye, sir.
All right, now. Over the side. I'll go first. All right, Jerry, come over. Now, Pat, give me your hand. Now, all stand still for a second. Try to get your eyes accustomed to the shallow light. What there is of it.
I can't see any better now than I could when we first saw that yellow light.
Neither can I. And yet, I can. There's something weird about that light.
I have an idea there'll be something weird about everything we see for some time to come. Now, Jerry, you walk on my right here. Pat, you on my left. Both of you stay close enough that we can rub elbows as we walk. And stay close. Now, let's start slowly and carefully toward that yellow glow. Neither of you speak until I tell you to. Ready?
I am.
Yes, Tex.
Not a sound. Here we go. And walk quietly. Stop.
What is it?
Did you see something?
No, and I didn't hear anything. That's what's wrong.
Well, what did you expect to hear?
Why, footsteps. I felt this landing with my hands when we came off the yacht. If I ever felt any before, it's made of concrete. But here are three of us, walking at a fair pace. I have on heavy boots with leather heels, and yet we didn't make a sound.
Oh, that's right.
Well, wait till I feel this stuff with my hands. You're right, Tex. That's concrete, all right. But when I felt it, I slapped it good and hard. It made almost no sound. Gee, Gee, do you think...
I think we've stumbled onto the greatest scientific miracle of our time. And there's no use in our trying to walk quietly or make any secret of our movements.
You mean we're being watched now? In the dark?
No. The captain means we're being watched by somebody who can see through this yellow haze, just as easy as we could see in broad daylight.
No doubt about that, son. This island, if it is an island, is years ahead of anything we have ever known. And it has people on it that know things we never dreamed of.
Could this all be artificial? The island, the fog, this light?
Yes, it could be. And it is. For the simple reason that it couldn't possibly be natural.
Golly whiskers. Well, what can we do?
We can only do one thing, Jerry. Keep walking toward the center of that yellow light.
Come on, men. I'm nervous and anxious to get it over with.
I can't even see as well as I could. Say, wait a minute. That's funny.
What's up, Jerry?
That yellow light. Look, behind us.
What? Why, the light has moved. The center of it is behind us now.
Yes, and if you look to the right or left, you'll see the center of it there, too.
But the center of it couldn't be all around us.
It has no center. That yellow glow is perfectly diffused all over this area.
Then maybe we're not walking toward the light at all.
We're just walking through it. What if we walk off the edge of something here?
Now, here, you get in the middle, Pat. No, I'll stay in the middle. You two are much lighter than I am. And if one of you slips off of something, the other two of us can pull you back onto this stuff we're walking on.
Wouldn't you think we'd hear something soon?
Yes, or see somebody.
This has got me breaking out with ice water freckles. Maybe we'd better stop and think it over again.
Getting scared, Jerry?
You bet I'm scared.
So am I, Jerry, but we may as well go on until... Oh.
What is it?
Which one of you gave me these?
Huh? Gave you what?
I gave you nothing. What do you... Huh? Well, why hand them to me?
What are you two talking about?
Pat just handed them to me.
I did not. I still have the ones you gave me.
Hey, now I've got them. Where did they come from?
Pat, Jerry, steady now, both of you. Just answer my questions one at a time.
Okay.
Yes, Tex.
Jerry, have you got a pair of glasses in your hands?
Yeah, sure. Mrs. Gregory just handed them to me.
Jerry, you handed them to me.
Quiet. By the time I said. Have you also got a pair of glasses in your hands now, Pat?
Yes, I have. But I...
Yes, and I've got a pair.
But where did...
Tex, what is this?
Quiet, I said. May mean our lives. Quiet while I talk. Someone or something we couldn't hear, see, or feel, has just handed each of us a pair of glasses. There must be a reason for that.
Well, I don't want to find out what it is.
Oh, Tex, what have we gotten into?
You know about as much about it as I do. There's only one thing to do. Each keep your grip on the other one's arm and put your glasses on with one hand.
But what do you suppose the glasses are for?
What any glasses are for, to see through.
But it's nearly dark, worse than dark. What good will glasses do?
Someone handed us those glasses. Someone who made no sound. And they weren't fumbling around in the dark because they didn't touch us at all. Therefore, whoever it was must have been able to see, and see perfectly. I think the time has come when we'll be allowed to see our surroundings.
I'm putting mine on.
Me too. But I'm shaking so I can't find my face. Oh, there now.
Just stand still and... Well, it's getting lighter.
No, it isn't. It's the glasses.
I'm beginning to see.
Take it as calmly as you can. No matter what you see, it won't help any to crack up about it.
Tex, look. Right beside me.
They're almost on top of us.
Look, there. Over there. Oh.
It's a long way from the coast of California to the South Seas, but many ocean liners travel that route with no more excitement than a trolley car ride. And almost directly in the path of these steamers lies a strange, hidden island, the magic island of the South Seas. The Gregory yacht has sailed to this island in search of Mrs. Gregory's long-lost little daughter. Now the yacht is held fast to the island by a powerful magnetic force. Jerry, Captain Bradford, and Mrs. Gregory leave the yacht. They stumble blindly through the weird yellow half-light that covers everything. Suddenly, some unseen person or phantom thing thrusts a pair of glasses into the hands of each.
Oh, Tex. Jerry, look.
They're all around us.
And we haven't heard the slightest sound.
I felt better when I couldn't see them.
Speak to them, Tex. Say something to them. They aren't making any move to harm us.
I'll go near them. You and Jerry stay. Well, I can't move.
I'm scared, too. But I can move anyway. I'll show you and... Gee, I can't even move my arms.
It's almost as if we were rooted to this spot.
Gosh, why don't they move or say something?
Speak to them, Tex. Get them to move. This will drive us mad.
Steady, Patricia. These men are not savages. They're strangely dressed, but they look civilized and intelligent.
But why can't we move?
I know why, but I don't know how it's being done. I have a gun in my pocket. I can feel it being drawn downward.
Sure, that's it. Magnetism again. That's why my flashlight feels like it weighs a ton in my pocket.
Oh, my head. Something's pulling at my hair. Oh, of course, the metal hairpin. What's holding our hands and feet so still?
I think we'll find out a lot in a minute. One of those men are coming towards us now.
Yeah. His legs are moving all right. He's walking pretty fast. Say, why doesn't he get any closer to us?
Oh, the shallow light is deceptive. Probably an illusion deliberately created to throw our sense of perspective out of balance. I'll bet they don't speak English. Let me do the talking if we get a chance to do anything. Hello there. How do you do?
I guess I don't speak anything.
We'll soon find out. Well, if I could move my arms, I could shake hands with this gentleman.
I think that will not be necessary. In fact, it would not be advisable.
Golly, Whiskers, he can talk.
It's a relief to hear English spoken in this strange place.
This strange place? Madame is mistaken. This is a perfectly natural place. You three are the strange elements here.
Well, I guess you're right at that. We seem to have intruded upon something that's a little bit beyond our depth. What's it all about, Professor?
Oh, do not apply to me the title you confer upon your petty educators in what you so grandly choose to call your world. World indeed. Why, you poor innocents cannot even dream of the world as it is given to us to know it. Now, I will introduce myself. I am called G47.
Gee whiz.
No, G47.
Is this real, Tex?
It is, but no one back home will believe us.
May I ask a question of you, G47?
At least, Madame Gregory, you...
He knows me.
Silence, Madame, or I shall think you as rude as your strange companions.
I'm sorry, but I was so surprised that you should know me.
I think we're going to be more surprised if we can find something this guy don't know.
You are a very observant person for one so young.
Well, before we go on with this display of our ignorance and your confounded superiority, you might at least call off your magnetic force. It'd be more comfortable if we could walk around a little.
I am disappointed in you, Captain Bradford.
Oh, you win, G47. Suppose we could have moved long ago if we'd had sense enough to try it.
You were released the moment I spoke to you. Now, if you are through gaping and wondering, I will be glad to answer Madame Gregory's question. The object of your search is here.
Then the old sailor's story was true. There is a little white girl living here.
Gee, and can we see her right away?
Yes, let's get it over with, or do we just stand here all night?
Your rudeness will be overlooked this time, Captain Bradford. You will follow me. Come.
Well, I guess nobody who saw this would ever make fun of my magic island again.
You will see no magic here. This is a land of fact. Cold, hard, scientific fact.
What you say is obviously true, but we've been accustomed to getting our facts in a little less spectacular manner. Everything here is real enough, but it's all so strange to us.
Notice how all these other men merely stand aside and let us pass. They don't look curious, happy, angry. They just don't look anything.
Guess they don't think we rate getting excited about it.
On the contrary, you are rather interesting subjects. It will be a pleasure to study you at greater length when time permits.
Well, it isn't the most comfortable feeling in the world to be spoken of as a subject for study, as if we were bugs on a microscopic slide.
But remember, Pat, as long as we're being studied, we'll be alive, and while
you're alive, there is always the possibility of your escape, eh?
That can wait. Please, G47, may we see the little girl?
We are nearly to the ladies' quarters now.
I imagine the ladies of your colony are kept rather well protected in the event your island might be surprised and perhaps captured, eh, G47?
Do not be unnecessarily stupid. We fear nothing.
I've got an idea he means that.
May we inquire where the ladies of your colony may be found? I see none of them.
This is the 602nd period, when the ladies are engaged in caring for their living quarters, making their dresses for tomorrow.
You mean 600 seconds as we figure time in our world?
Precisely.
But, golly whiskers, 600 seconds. That's only 10 minutes. You mean the ladies make their own dresses in 10 minutes?
And attend to caring for their living quarters in the same time? 5 minutes to make a dress.
It is a waste of valuable time, I admit. But we haven't been able to solve the problem of making a satisfactory garment in less than 300 seconds.
Good heavens, 5 minutes to make a dress, and the man calls it a waste of time.
I said 300 seconds, not 5 minutes. We have no time to deal in minutes here. Time is too precious. We measure it in seconds.
I'll bet these guys could put up the Empire State Building in their lunch hour. Boy, oh boy.
And the ladies make a new dress for every day?
Precisely. You will see all that being done and more before you leave the Isle of Euclidia.
So that's it, Euclidia. You named your scientific island for Euclid, the father of geometry.
You are learning, Captain Bradford. I am called G47, as the highest authority in Euclidia on the subject of mathematics. G for geometry, 47 for the squaring of the circle, the 47th problem of Euclid.
G47. And do all the other men on the island have names like yours?
No, they are all different from mine.
I mean, are they, do they mean something like yours does?
Everything on this island means something. The names are similar to mine. But enough of this childish prattle. Directly before you, you will notice a small, gleaming copper door. You are expected. Enter. I will return for you when the time limit of your visit is reached.
Well, if we ever wake up at all, this is going to be a dream hard to forget.
This is no dream. It's the real thing. A magic island.
Oh, I'm so nervous. Do you think we'll really see my little girl after all this? Will she prove to be my little girl? My little daughter, Joan?
Well, let's knock on this door and find out. Gee, the door opened. Without a sound before I touched it.
Are we supposed to walk right in?
You may enter.
Did you hear that?
A young girl's voice. Let's go in. What a small room. Oh, are you... How do you do?
Will you not sit down? Allow me, Mrs. Gregory. You there, Captain Bradford. And you here, Gerald.
Gerald.
Oh, Tex,
Steady, Patricia. Now take it as calmly as you can. Jerry and I will just sit quietly in the background. As far back as we can go back in this little cubbyhole. You go ahead and talk to her. Find out if... Good luck, dear.
Do you mind if I question you?
Not at all. We of Euclidia encourage conversation when the subject is of value and takes little time. Remember, we are allowed but 120 seconds for this visit.
Gee, Tex, who ever heard of a 15-year-old girl talking like that?
Hush, Jerry. Let's don't use up any of Mrs. Gregory's 120 seconds.
Your name... What are you called, my dear?
I am called Cleostra. Each one on Euclidia has a namesake in science. Cleostratus was an astronomer of ancient Greece who arranged the signs of the zodiac. I came to this island on the day the Euclideans changed the calendar from your clumsy one of 12 months of different lengths to our perfect one of 13 months. Hence, I was called Cleostra in honor of that day.
Golly whiskers. That girl knows more than my school teacher.
Hush, Jerry.
Tell me, my... Cleostra, do you know how you came to this island, to Euclidia?
Why, of course. I was cast upon the island after a shipwreck near here. I was tied to a sinking lifeboat.
Yes, that would be right. The lifeboat was sinking. All the men left it and tried to swim to safety so that you and I would have a better chance to live. I remember tying you to the boat, and then I could remember nothing else.
You remember? You tied me to that boat?
Yes, that's the last thing I remember. That was 14 years ago. You should be 15 now.
The keeper of the records tells me I am just 15. But you spoke of fastening me to the lifeboat. You? Who are you?
I am your mother. I'm Mrs. Patricia Gregory.
I know all that. But you are someone else also. There is something, I cannot explain it. My feeling is strange to me. But the Euclidians have kept so much news of the world from me. I suppose we are very happy here, yet I have often wished to know something of the world. Your world. Now you've brought that to me.
Will you turn your head? May I touch you, my child?
Certainly. Oh, you feel so strange. So warm and friendly. Your hands. No one's hands ever felt like that to me before.
I knew your hair would be golden and curly, and I'm afraid to look. It would be a tiny star-shaped scar at the base of your neck. Oh, it's here. Tex. Jerry, the scar. It's Joan, my baby. My little daughter, Joan. Oh, little girl. Joan.
The program you are about to hear is largely fiction, science fiction. We make no guarantees, however, how long it will remain fiction.
Exploring Tomorrow. And now, here is your guide to these adventures of the mind, John Campbell, Jr.
The philosophers down the ages have hassled a long time and with many words about the good, the true, and the beautiful. The true, well, that can be defined pretty objectively. But there's a peculiar thing about beautiful. What is beauty? And in whose terms? Makes it difficult.
With the story of The Adventure of the Beauty Queen, which stars Miss Charlotte Sheffield, Miss United States of 1958.
Beauty is a much more complicated problem than the question of truth, actually. A truth is an eternal thing. If it's true, it's true, and that's that. But beauty is appropriate. It changes as the situations change. It changes with time. I wonder how our own concepts of beauty, that is, our human race's concepts of beauty, will change as time goes by. Let's suppose that a famous young woman of our time, Miss United States, if you like, is awakened in her sleep by an alien presence. A strange force she feels but cannot see. It's something she knows is there.
Who are you?
You know I am here.
Yes.
Can you see me?
No.
Nor can I see you. I am conscious I am with you.
Dreams, of course.
No, it's real.
Who are you?
A man who in your terms belongs to the distant future. I am unborn in the way you think of it. And to me, you have been dead over 1,000 years, were I back in my own orbit.
Someone's playing a joke.
No, this is no joke. But please, don't be afraid. I mean no harm.
You're dead 1,000 years. Whoever you are, what are you talking about?
Listen to me. Try to understand. I belong to a race of scientists. In simple words you can understand, we have a device which enables us to project ourselves into the past. You belong to the past. Do you understand?
Yes.
The device has made me conscious of you for a long time. I have used it to explore the past, and in these explorations, I have searched for the highest form of human beauty.
How do you know whether or not I'm beautiful if you can't see me?
The device tells me you're beautiful. Beauty real beauty is a force that transmits itself, that can be picked up by a form of radar. Please understand, I'm only using terms I think you can follow. In my own orbit, I would not even talk to a child in such simple terms.
Go away. Please go away.
I can't. I'm in love with you.
What?
In love with you.
In love?
Yes.
Oh.
Very much. Is it funny?
Oh, yes.
I don't think it is.
But it is.
Do women of your time always laugh at a man's love?
Oh, don't be silly. I wasn't laughing at you.
Well, then at what?
I just thought it was very funny. The idea of your being in love with a blip on a radar screen. After all, that's about what I am to you, isn't it?
Oh, no.
It must be.
No. The radar screen, as you call it, simply picked you up, pointed you out to us.
Us?
My associates and I.
Oh.
I felt very strongly drawn to you. I convinced my associates to conduct further experiments, actual contact with someone out of the past. You. I had to know you. I had to come into orbit with you.
Look, don't you think this joke has gone far enough?
I told you this is not a joke.
Of course it is.
Well, you know better.
Oh, don't you suppose I know what's going on? Well, I should have thought of it a long time ago.
What is going on?
Why, it's very simple. Someone installed a radio pickup in this room. And you're talking to me through a microphone.
Talking to you?
You are, aren't you?
Oh, no.
What do you mean, no?
I'm not talking to you in the way you think I am. I'm projecting to you.
Oh, please stop this.
It's not your voice I hear. I'm receiving impulses from you, not actual words. The device I mentioned interprets the nature of your impulses, translates them into my language. It does the same for you.
It's true. I don't hear your voice. Not as a sound, I mean.
You begin to realize.
Please stop.
No, don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. You must be insane to say that. I'm scared out of my life. I want to scream. I'm afraid to. I'm not even sure I'm awake. I'm not even sure I'm alive.
You're alive. In your century. Now, understand what I'm telling you. In a moment, you'll be drawn out of your orbit, projected into the future, into my orbit. I want to see you. I want to see if you're as beautiful as your impulses say you are. If you are, I'm afraid I'll keep you where I am in the future.
No, I don't believe any of it. You're mad. Whoever you are, you're quite insane.
Are you receiving me?
Yes.
Don't be afraid. You're in limbo, on your way into my orbit.
Exploring Tomorrow continues in just a moment.
All of us, as American citizens, believe in our inherent liberties and freedoms, such as the freedom of the individual to choose and elect his own national representatives. It has been said that there is only one ruling class in America, the people themselves, who, through their vote, have established the law of our land. The real importance of this freedom depends on our accepting the responsibility not only to know what we are voting for or against, but also to choose our leaders for the best interests of the nation. So, accept your responsibility and ensure your freedom.
Of all things men have discussed and considered today, time is the one of which we know least. We know how to travel in space, and recent physical work has indicated that actually things can travel backwards as well as forwards in time, but we know nothing about it. And one of the things that would be strange on this, how long does it take to travel through time? When you are traveling through time itself, how long does it take to go from now to then? How long was Miss United States in that limbo before she was there?
I'm talking to you. I'm projecting to you. Are you receiving me?
Yes.
Are you afraid?
A little.
Not as much as you thought you'd be.
No.
Have you any idea of where you are?
I'm in a room. That's all I know.
I'm in the next one. We're on the 500th floor of the Institute of Technical Research in the city of Columbia. In your century, I believe you called it Washington.
Washington?
You understand, this is America.
I'm glad to hear that, at least.
Yes, I can see it relieves you.
You can see me?
Very clearly.
And am I?
Are you what?
Well, what you expected me to be.
To some extent.
Do you find me unattractive?
Alien.
Alien?
Different.
Yes, I know the meaning of the word.
At first, I was conscious of a sense of shock when I first saw you.
At least you're frank.
Well, I'm a scientist.
Do you find me ugly?
I said alien. Of course, I knew you would be. I didn't expect you to measure up physically to our standards. The human form has improved a great deal since your century.
But why? Was there a reason?
Man-made reasons.
Can you tell me?
Well, it began with interplanetary wars conducted by the nations of the world. The struggle to build empires in outer space on other planets.
When was this?
Not in your century. You saw only the first feeble attempts to explore space.
Yes, I suppose our attempts are feeble.
Well, the interplanetary wars did a great deal of destruction, particularly on this planet. Precious documents, books, records were lost. But there was another result. The atmosphere of the Earth became charged with radioactive matter. For a while, it looked as though the human race had become extinct, but it didn't. The human body acclimated itself to new atmospheric conditions and flourished again. But by that time, our physical form had changed. Changed for the better. And today...
Go on.
Well, today, the human form is the most beautiful creation has ever seen.
And by your standards, I am something of a shock to you.
Your physical form was, at first, yes.
Am I very different from the women here?
Very different.
To you, they're beautiful.
They are beautiful.
Would I find them attractive?
I don't think so.
I might.
Oh, no.
Why not? If they're so beautiful, I mean.
Well, your conception of beauty is not ours.
I understand that, but...
But what?
I don't know. I was going to say that beauty is beauty, but that wouldn't make any sense.
No, the concept of beauty is what matters.
But you said beauty is a force. It radiates.
The inner beauty radiates.
I understand that, too.
Well, how do you think of the universe?
Oh, I think I associate it with God. I identify it with the divine mind.
I'm surprised.
The universe is a reflection of God.
Now I begin to understand why, in spite of your physical form, your beauty reached me. And it has nothing to do with your looks.
I wouldn't be very gracious if I didn't say thank you.
I'm going to keep you here, you know, if I can.
I don't think you quite mean that.
I mean it in every sense. I want you now to remember what I've said about the change for the better in human form. I'm going to open the door to your room and come in. Now, please keep in mind that I do not look as the men of your century looked, but also remember that here I'm supposed to be a reasonably good-looking fellow.
I would like to see you.
Well, you will in the next few seconds.
That which is beautiful and befitting, appropriate, depends on the environment it's in. The future people had to undergo some rather complete changes to meet the environment that, shall we say, we, their ancestors, had imposed on them. A little too much radioactivity. And that which was beautiful is no longer befitting. The thing that is now befitting, we might not think of as particularly beautiful.
Is it so bad?
I'm sorry.
I should not have exposed myself to the shock you feel, to the revulsion you feel at the sight of me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I should have known.
Forgive me. I just can't look at you for a moment. I have to adjust.
There's a window behind you. You can look out.
Oh, thank you. Please, don't resent me.
No, I was just wondering if you have any idea how incredible to me your revulsion is.
Yes, I think I have an idea.
You must overlook what sounds like vanity, but I have to repeat what I told you before. I'm supposed to be more than passably good-looking.
Yes, I understand.
But you can't stand the sight of me.
Give me a moment. Are you looking at me?
Yes.
Does it still hurt you?
No. No, I'm too conscious of your inner beauty.
I'm very grateful.
I'm curious about something.
Yes?
Are you conscious of any of my impulses?
I think so.
Do you find them hostile?
No.
Alien?
No.
Do they cause you any fear?
I don't think so.
Well, forgetting how I appear to your eyes, do you like me?
Yes. Yes, I think you must be a very nice person.
The curious thing is...
Yes?
I was going to say, the curious thing is I'm still in love with you.
You mustn't be.
Perhaps love is a dimension.
I don't know. I'm too confused to think about it.
Or perhaps it's an orbit we enter or leave. I don't know either. It was just a thought.
You can't examine love through a microscope, can you?
Well, it's been exposed to every kind of study for centuries. Even the people of your time knew its reactions to be purely chemical. Of course, your poets didn't agree, but then neither do ours.
Do you have poets?
Oh, yes, we have them. They resist us. They call themselves the last human barrier against science. They refuse to understand what basic science is.
What is it?
Well, isn't it man's eternal craving to find out more about the universe, or the divine mind?
Let me go back.
Go back?
Please.
How can you even want to go back? Look, what do you see through that window? Nothing but beauty. Miles of emerald green fields with cities that sparkle like diamonds rising out of them. Nothing but prosperity. Prosperity and peace. And you want to go back to your miserable century?
To my people. To my own people. I belong with them. I don't belong here.
I'll tell you something. We're being observed, listened to by my associates.
Observed?
Well, the final decision must come from them. I'm as much a part of this experiment as you are, even though it was my idea. My idea. Now that we've succeeded in drawing you out of your orbit into ours, I don't think our science will release you. We can learn a great deal from you about the things of your century. Besides, I love you. I want to keep you here.
Please! Please don't touch me! Please don't touch me! Dream. That's all it was. It's all it was. It couldn't have been anything else. It couldn't have been.
There are parts of beauty that are eternal, that are not like the physical that changes, but the beauty of a true and honest personality. This sort of beauty that will endure. There are things that you can rely on as time goes by. Woman needs man, and man must have his mate. On this you can rely. The only thing is, the definition of man and woman will tend to change with the passing of ages. But the fundamental things apply. An honest man and an honest woman. These we need forever.
Join us for a fascinating adventure in Exploring Tomorrow. Heard in our cast tonight were Brett Morrison and the real Miss United States of 1958, Charlotte Sheffield. Script was by John Fleming. Produced and directed by Sanford Marshall here in New York. Guy Wallace speaking.
We pause now for station identification.
Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman who can leap tall buildings at a single bound, race a speeding bullet to its target, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice.
And now to our story. Assigned to cover the Metropolis University State College football game, Clark Kent ran into a puzzling mystery. For some unknown reason, the Metropolis team, leading by 2 touchdowns, went to pieces in the last quarter. When Bob Harris, captain and fullback of the team, collapsed on the field, Kent hurried to the dressing room to question the coach, Spike Taylor. At first, Taylor denied anything was wrong, but finally admitted that every man on the team seemed groggy during the last 10 minutes of play. However, a thorough examination of Harris, the captain, revealed nothing in the way of injury or illness, and Coach Taylor was inclined to dismiss the incident when he learned that 2 of his first-string players were talking of quitting the team. As our story continues today, Kent and Taylor are alone in the latter's dressing room office. Listen.
You don't understand, Kent. The Metropolis team isn't just playing to win this year. It's playing for stakes that may mean life or death for thousands of helpless kids.
Well, frankly, I don't understand, Coach.
Well, by some miracle, we pulled the game of state out of the fire today. That leaves us only one more opponent. Southwest College. The toughest, smartest team in the country.
You play them next Saturday.
That's right. And if we knock them over, we'll be invited to play in the Rose Bowl.
Oh, I still don't follow you, Coach. You say you're not playing to win, and yet all you're worried about is winning to get into the Rose Bowl.
I mean, it's not the boys on the team or myself or even the university. It's those thousands of kids.
Now, wait a minute. Who are the thousands of kids you're talking about, and what's this business about life or death?
I can't explain it to you properly, Kent, so there's no sense trying. Come on, I'm going up to the laboratory to see Professor Nelson. He's head of the medical school. You tell you what I mean. Wait. There's one promise I want, Kent.
Oh, what is it?
You've got to promise you won't print this story until after the Southwest game next Saturday.
Well, that's a strange request.
I know, but it's important that nothing leaks out. For the team's morale and for other reasons.
Okay, I promise.
I know you would. Let's go. This is the new medical college. It was just completed early this year. One of the finest in the country. Here's the research laboratory. I hope Professor Nelson's in.
Boy, did you say laboratory? This place smells and looks like a zoo.
Yes, it does. Oh, there's Professor Nelson, a tall man with a white goatee. Professor.
Oh, hello, Mr. Taylor.
Professor Nelson, this is Clark Kent of the Daily Planet.
How do you do, Mr. Kent?
How do you do, Professor? I'm very happy to meet you.
Keep quiet, you little devil. This last batch of monks chattered like magpies.
I was wondering what you did with cages full of monkeys, Professor.
They're rhesus monkeys, Mr. Kent, and we use them for experimental purposes.
Oh?
One of these days, a little white-faced rhesus monkey is going to be responsible for ridding humanity of its most horrible children's disease.
You mean infantile paralysis?
Yes, infantile paralysis.
Now you see what I meant when I said thousands of lives depend on the team. When I called it a matter of life or death.
Well, I'm beginning to, but it's still not entirely clear.
It will be when Professor Nelson finishes. I'm sorry I interrupted.
It's quite all right. You see, Mr. Kent, monkeys are a lot like human beings. They have similar nervous systems and suffer a great many of the ailments we suffer. They can contract infantile paralysis.
Uh-huh.
That's why we use them for experimental purposes, in the hope that by studying their reaction to paralysis, we can be the means of saving human life and limb.
But what has all this to do with the Metropolis football team, Coach?
Professor Nelson will tell you.
Gladly. It takes a great deal of money to maintain a scientific laboratory such as this is, Mr. Kent.
Yes?
Right now, we need more microscopes, more centrifuges, more equipment of every kind. We could use a larger staff of research workers. Oh, yes. And more monkeys. They cost money, too.
Well, I still don't see the connection between all this and the football team. It seems a little far-fetched.
Not at all, Kent. Wait.
I was just about to explain the connection, Mr. Kent. Last year, David Leslie Richards, the millionaire gold mine owner, passed away.
Oh, yes, I remember. He left some money to the university, didn't he?
Yes, quite a lot. Mr. Richards was a graduate of Metropolis, and his will bequeathed the university $3 million to be used specifically in building up a completely equipped medical research laboratory.
Well, that $3 million should have taken care of everything.
It will, Kent, if we can get it.
Well, what do you mean, get it? It was left to the university, wasn't it?
Only if we earned it, Mr. Kent.
What?
The bequest provided that the university must, through its own efforts, raise $500,000 in order to receive the $3 million legacy. And it must be raised within the year.
Oh, so that's where the football team comes in.
Exactly. We've gotten alumni donations of $300,000, which leaves $200,000 to raise by the end of next month. Our final game with Southwest should draw 50,000 people. And if we beat them, we'll be invited to the Rose Bowl for a postseason game. 80,000 people at the bowl, and we're over the top.
Oh, well, that explains everything, Coach. Now I know what you meant when you said an undefeated football team is a matter of life and death.
Yes, and now you know why the team's collapse this afternoon frightened me out of 10 years' growth.
Sure. I wouldn't worry too much about that, Mr. Taylor. Your boys were probably overstrung on edge. I'm certain they'll be all right.
Well, they seem fine now, Professor. A few of them are frightened by what happened on the field.
Dr. Stone took a sample of Bob Harris' blood for analysis. He was the youngster who collapsed during play.
Stone must be inside working on it now.
Hey, what's that?
Oh, Hercules. He's probably hungry or thirsty. Would you like to see him?
Sure, Kentwood.
Come on. He's just around this bend in the room.
What? Great Scott, a caged gorilla.
What's the trouble, Hercules? Want some water? Okay. We'll pour some into your pan.
Oh, look at him laughing up.
Now he'll curl up and go to sleep. He's really quite docile as long as we give him enough to eat and drink.
I still hate to meet him in a dark alley.
Well, I imagine that would be a little unpleasant. Hercules is strong enough to tear a man to pieces. Oh, here comes Dr. Stone. He probably has a report for you, Mr. Taylor. Find anything, Doctor?
No, not a solitary thing. Both white and red count are normal.
Yes, just as I suspected.
Well, I must say that's good news.
I wonder.
What do you mean, Mr. Kent?
Well, I can't quite believe the boys in that football team reacted naturally today. Oh, granted they were on edge and maybe a little too finely drawn, but that loginess hit every one of them without exception.
Well, medical science is fairly accurate, Mr. Kent. No, but if we can find no indication of disease, wouldn't it be fair to assume that fatigue was responsible for what happened?
They couldn't all have been fatigued. You know, it just occurred to me, Professor Nelson. What happens to that $3 million bequest if the university fails to raise its quota of $500,000?
The money reverts to other beneficiaries.
Oh, who are they?
I don't know, Mr. Kent, but I hardly think that has any bearing on the case. At the moment, our primary interest is to determine whether the young men on the football team require medical attention.
I told you how important the team is in the scheme of things.
Yes, I know, but I was just wondering.
Wondering what?
Who was Mr. Richards' lawyer? Who handled his will?
Mr. John Quincy of the firm of Quincy, Caldwell, and Scott. But really, Mr. Kent, I don't quite understand.
Well, I may be barking up the wrong tree, but they say if you bark up enough trees, you're bound to find the right one. Oh, is it really 4:30? I'm afraid I'll have to leave. Well, thanks for everything. I hope I see you all again. Goodbye.
Wait a minute, Kent. I'll go along with you. All right. Goodbye, Professor Nelson. Dr. Stone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, listen to those monkeys chatter.
Leaving the university, Clark Kent hurries to the law offices of Quincy, Caldwell, and Scott, and despite the lateness of the hour, gains admittance to the private walnut-paneled office of John Quincy, elderly senior member of the firm. Facing him across a massive desk, Kent makes known his mission.
And inasmuch as you were Mr. Richards' legal advisor, I thought you might be able to help me determine who will benefit under the terms of his will in the event the university fails to raise the money required.
Why do you want to know?
Well, at the moment, Mr. Quincy, I'm just curious.
The will of the late Mr. Richards is not an object of idle curiosity.
Well, my curiosity isn't exactly idle. A lot may depend on my knowing who stands to benefit if the money doesn't go to the university.
I'm afraid I shall have to require much more of an explanation.
But I can't give it to you now. You can trust me.
It isn't a matter of trust. The will has not yet been filed with the probate court. Only 4 people have knowledge of what disposition will be made of the $3 million bequest in case the university fails to earn it. The 3 beneficiaries and myself.
Oh, so there are 3 beneficiaries.
I merely picked an odd number.
Oh, no, you didn't. It slipped out. 3 beneficiaries.
Young man, I must ask you to leave at once.
Now, don't get excited, Mr. Quincy.
Will you leave, or do you wish me to summon the police?
Just a moment. I have one more thing to say.
Say it quickly before I lose patience.
You think I'm just a nosy reporter looking for a sensational story. Well, I'm not, Mr. Quincy. I've just been given a lesson in self-sacrifice, a lesson in devotion to the cause of humanity, a lesson that every man, woman, and child in the world should learn.
What is this nonsense?
Oh, it isn't nonsense. I just heard a man talk about saving the lives of youngsters, and his eyes lit up as though that were the only worthwhile thing in his life. I just heard a tough football coach choke up when he spoke of thousands of kids who needed medical help.
What are you talking about?
This is what I'm talking about. Metropolis University needs the $3 million Mr. Richards bequeathed in his will. The university needs it to fight the cruelest disease in the annals of medicine. The disease that strikes at helpless youngsters and cuts them down without giving them a chance. You know what I'm talking about. Infantile paralysis.
This is all very irrelevant.
Oh, no, it isn't. The way it looks now, the university may never get that much needed money.
What makes you say that?
Because it's my feeling that one of the 3 beneficiaries is trying to keep the university from earning the $3 million.
Can Clark Kent be right? Is it possible that the sudden collapse of the Metropolis football team was something that had been planned? If Kent is on the right track, what can be done to protect the players for the last and most important game of the season, only a week away? There's going to be excitement both on the field and behind the scenes, so follow the story with Superman.
Don't forget, tune in again for the next thrilling episode with Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman, who can leap tall buildings at a single bound, race a speeding bullet to its target, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice.
And now to our story. As you remember, Clark Kent became involved in what seemed to him to be a strange mystery that deserved investigation. It concerned the Metropolis University football team's sudden collapse in the 4th quarter of its game with State College. Fortunately, Metropolis won, but Kent suspects some human agency was responsible for what happened. He's followed up a few leads, and at the moment is back at the Daily Planet editorial office discussing the matter with his editor, Perry White. Listen.
All I know is that you were assigned to cover a football game. You sent Lois Lane back with your notes. As a result, someone else had to write the story. I think it's about time you learned to stay with an assignment once it's given you. Now, you're a reporter,
I know. I'm a reporter, not a detective.
Exactly.
Now, look, Mr. White, I've never let you down, have I?
Well, what's that got to do with it?
Well, simply this. There's a story behind that football game. A story much more important than the game itself. A story big enough to warrant headlines and a page-one spread.
Well, that's different. Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Well, you didn't give me a chance. However, it isn't ready to break yet.
Oh, I see. Another of your wild dreams, eh? As a matter of fact, Lois did mention that you were off on a wild goose chase again. She said you didn't even wait to see the end of the game. You dashed off 5 minutes before the final whistle blows.
Oh, she's right. This is what happened. The Metropolis team went to pieces in the last quarter. Bob Harris, the captain, fainted on the field, and the rest of the men were staggering around like a bunch of dazed high school freshmen. Well, it didn't seem natural, so I had a talk with Spike Taylor, the coach.
Yes?
And Taylor was worried. Couldn't understand what had happened to his team. Every man on the squad was groggy.
State College probably gave them a fight.
No, it wasn't that. The men were dazed more than tired. Harris described it fairly well. He said his legs went weak and his head began to swim.
Did the doctor examine him?
Yeah, sure. Dr. Stone of the medical school. He even made a blood test. Nothing showed up.
Well, there's your answer.
I'm afraid not, Mr. White. There's more to it than appears on the surface. Briefly, this is the story. The Metropolis team has one more game to play with Southwest University. Now, if they win, they'll be undefeated and get an invitation to play at the Rose Bowl.
Yes, I know. I read the papers, Kent. You're not telling me anything new.
Well, I will in a moment. Metropolis must win because a lot depends on it.
Like Taylor's coaching job?
Oh, no, something more important. The lives of thousands of youngsters.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Well, you see, a man named Richards, an alumnus of the university, died last year and left the medical research laboratory $3 million, provided the university could raise $500,000 on its own hook. Now, the research laboratory needs that money badly to carry on its infantile paralysis work, trying to find a cause and cure.
Yes. Go on. Get to the point.
I am. They've raised $300,000 so far, and if the team wins its final game and goes to the Rose Bowl, the university's share of the gate receipts will give them the money they need to get the legacy.
Well, that's a nice human interest story, but it's not page one by any manner of means.
No, the page one story is yet to come. You see, despite the fact that Dr. Stone found nothing wrong with Bob Harris, I didn't like the look of things. So I had a talk with Professor Nelson, dean of the medical school. I learned from him that if the university failed to raise the $500,000 by next month, the $3 million legacy went to someone else.
Who?
That's what I wanted to know. So I checked with John Quincy, the lawyer who handled the will. But he refused to give me any information. But he did let slip that 3 people would benefit if the university didn't get the legacy. Now, do you see the possibility of a page one story?
Yes. It's pretty far-fetched. You think that one of the 3 people is trying to keep the university from getting the $3 million?
Uh-huh. By putting the football team out of commission.
Yeah, that's Frank Merrill stuff, Kent. Doesn't happen in real life. Who are the 3 possible heirs?
That's what I don't know. The will hasn't been filed with the court yet. But Quincy, the lawyer, knows. Somehow, I've got to get him to cooperate.
Frankly, I think you're wasting your time. I thought you really had something, but all you've got are...
An important message for you.
What do you mean by breaking in here like a cyclone? I thought I told you last week.
I'm sorry, Mr. White, but the boy who delivered it said it was urgent.
I don't care what it is. Get out.
Okay.
Well, let me have the message, Jimmy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here.
Thanks.
Get out, I said.
I'm going, Mr. White.
You scared the daylights out of that poor kid.
Well, the next time I'll whip the daylights out of him. This is supposed to be a private office, not a three-ring circus. By rights, I should fire that young whippersnapper. He's entirely too fresh.
Oh, Jimmy's not fresh. He's just eager. Anyway, you won't fire him, so why talk about it? Your bark is much worse than your bite.
Oh, is that so?
Yes, that's so.
Well, why don't you read that message if it's so all-fired important?
I will.
My bark is worse than my bite. What we need around here is more discipline.
Great Scott.
What's the matter?
A moment ago, Mr. White, you said you thought I was wasting my time on this football team story. All right, look at this.
Art Kent, Daily Planet. This is a little friendly advice. Keep your nose out of other people's business, or you won't be using it to breathe with very long.
Uh-huh. That's not a threat. I never read one.
It's not signed. Who delivered it?
I think Jimmy mentioned the messenger boy. We'll ask him. Jimmy! Oh, Jim!
Okay, I know. I was expecting you.
Come in a minute, Jim. What were you expecting?
This. You don't have to tell me. I know. I'm fired.
Oh, Oh, don't be silly.
You should be fired, you young... Oh, what's the use?
This had nothing to do with being fired, Jimmy. What we want to know is who delivered this message to me.
Why, just a boy.
A messenger boy?
No, just a boy like me.
Nobody could be quite like you.
Would you recognize the boy if you saw him again?
Gosh, I don't know it. I didn't pay much attention to him.
Of course not.
Is something wrong, Mr. Kent? Did I make a mistake?
No, Jimmy. No. We just thought the letter had been delivered by a uniformed messenger. I think I'll take a run over to the university and see Dr. Nelson. I better call him first.
Use my phone.
Okay. Get me the Medical Research Laboratory at Metropolis University. That's right. Thank you. She'll call me when she gets there.
Well, what are you hanging around for?
Who, me?
No, my grandmother.
Oh, can I stay?
What do you think this is? A railroad station waiting room?
Jimmy's not in the way, Mr. White. Let him stay.
Now, look here, Kent.
Hello. Is this Professor Nelson? Oh, Dr. Stone. Is Professor Nelson there? This is Clark Kent. I see. Wait just a minute, will you please? Quiet, please, Mr. White. Hello. Yes, well, when he comes back, will you please tell him I'm on my way over to the university? Yes, something very important has come up. I'll be there in 10 minutes. Thank you. Nelson stepped out for a moment, but he'll be back by the time I get there.
Hey, wait a minute. What are you rushing over to see Nelson for?
Well, perhaps he can use some influence with that lawyer Quincy to get us the names of the 3 beneficiaries. I'll be back as soon as I can. You want to come along, Jimmy?
Boy, and how?
Just a minute, Kent. He was hired to run copy, not to run...
Jim, let's go.
Right with you.
Now, see here. Kent, come back here. Come back here, I said. Kent, come back here, I said.
Mr. White's going to be mad as a wet hen. He didn't want you to take me.
Oh, don't you worry, Jimmy. He'll forget all about it before we get back.
Well, what are you going to do at the university? Watch the team practice?
No, we're going up to the research laboratory to see Professor Nelson. You'll like the monkeys and the gorilla.
The monkeys and the gorilla?
Uh-huh. Dozens of little white-faced rhesus monkeys and a huge 400-pound gorilla. They call him Hercules.
Gosh, he doesn't walk around free, does he?
Well, hardly. He's locked in a cage.
Well, what's he doing in the laboratory?
Well, I suppose Professor Nelson and Dr. Stone experiment on him. You know, monkeys and gorillas are a lot like human beings.
Yeah, I know. I saw a couple of gorillas in the movies. They danced and played the piano and smoked cigars.
They were probably apes or chimpanzees. Gorillas are a little too vicious to train. There's a big one in the circus that comes to Metropolis every year.
Oh, that's right, Gargantua. Is Hercules as big as Gargantua?
Well, not quite. He's big enough. We'll see. Well, here we are. Guess I can park here. All right, Jim, come on.
Okay. Which way, Mr. Kent?
That's the medical building over there, that old brick structure.
Do they keep the monkeys in cages, too?
Mm-hmm. Small wire cages.
I'll bet they're cute.
Yes, but noisy. Shadow all the time. Watch your step here, Jimmy. The laboratory's down in the basement. I think this is the door.
It sure is. Listen to those monkeys. Where's Hercules, the gorilla?
He's in a cage around that bend in the room, Jim. Doesn't seem to be anybody here. Professor Nelson?
Maybe he's out to dinner.
No, Dr. Stone said he was coming right back. I told him I'd be over in 10 minutes.
Can I see the gorilla, Mr. Kent?
Sure, of course you can. He's right around that bend.
Oh, I know, but if you'd come too,
There's nothing to be afraid of, Jimmy. He's in a cage.
Okay.
Professor Nelson? Dr. Stone? That's funny. No soul here. I wonder whether he got...
Help!
What?
Help!
Jimmy! What's the matter?
Help!
Jimmy!
Well, something serious has happened around the bend in the laboratory room. Did Jimmy get too close to the cage? And has the gorilla caught him in its powerful grip? Why is he screaming for help? It looks like trouble ahead and plenty of it, so don't miss a single exciting episode. Tune in and listen with Superman.
Don't forget, tune in again for the next thrilling episode with Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.
And now, Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal, invites you to rocket into the future with Corbett, Space Cadet.
Stand by to raise ship. Blast off. -5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
As roaring rockets blast off to distant planets and far-flung stars, we take you to the age of the conquest of space with Corbett, Space Cadet. The space freighter Leo, piloted by Tom Corbett and Roger Manning, is nearing its destination, the planet Venus. Its cargo is the personnel and equipment of Wilberforce's Worldwide Circus, on the first interplanetary hop ever made by any Earth circus. The trip, supposed to be uneventful, has been enlivened by the escape in mid-space of the lions and tigers of Princess Marge's Wild Animal Act. Fortunately, the cadets, with the assistance of Marge, managed to get the animals back, only to discover that the escape was no accident, but an act of sabotage. Now, as the boys prepare for the landing on Venus, they double-check all their instruments to make certain their unknown enemy is not trying to strike again.
Cooling pumps, energized. Teleceiver, scanning. Fuel system, in order. How about the braking rockets? Instruments show they're ready, but that's one thing we're not going to know for sure until we hit them.
It won't be long. There's Venus in the teleceiver screen now.
Yeah. If the unknown cat fancier is going to pull anything else, he better get started.
Just so he doesn't let our pussycats out of their cages again. You checked the cages, didn't you, Roger?
You know I did. All secure.
Hold it, Roger.
Someone wants in on the control deck.
Sounds like it.
Maybe it's the cat lover.
I don't know. Got your parallel right?
Right.
Then I'll open the hatch.
It's about time.
Why, Princess?
These are the darndest things to open. I had to struggle through 3 of them to get here.
Anything wrong?
Why, no, but aren't we getting close to Venus?
Honey, I've been close to Venus during this entire trip.
Flattery will get you no place, Roger. Not that I don't like it, but just now...
Just now, you look more beautiful than ever. Beautiful.
Tom, how do you deal with this space monkey?
I don't have to, Princess. He never tells me such nice things.
Will you two be serious for a moment?
I was never more serious in my life.
Roger?
Hey, put down that wrench.
I will as soon as I get a sensible answer.
Sorry, Princess. What is it?
Do we have to make any special preparations for landing the animals as we did on the takeoff?
Oh, no. Don't worry. This is quite different.
Approaching landing range now, Tom.
Check.
Oh, if I'm in the way,
No, it's all right. Ready, Roger?
Yeah.
Stand by.
Right.
What's happening?
A rocket has to come in for a landing backwards. So we're turning over in space.
All reverse.
Right. Prepare to hit main rockets.
What altitude you going to hit them?
60,000 feet. I'll tell it off.
That sounds like...
Wind. We're entering Venus atmosphere. The sound will increase as the air grows denser. 140,000, Roger.
Ready.
120,000. 100. 90. 80. 70,000. Hit them!
What now?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Marja, you are now on the surface of the planet that was named in honor of beautiful women like you.
We've landed on Venus?
We have. And when the cargo's unloaded, the personnel disembarked, and the tents set up, Colonel Wilberforce may proceed with the first performance of not the greatest show on Earth, but the greatest show in the universe!
It's wonderful, boys, wonderful. A dream has become a reality. Here I sit, Colonel Roscoe Wilberforce, drinking coffee on the planet of Venus, sheltered by my own mess tent, while my circus springs up around me.
Didn't you expect to get here, Colonel?
Of course, my boy, of course. But to see the vision made reality, the dream accomplished, The workings of my mind translated into this pioneering establishment. Oh, which reminds me, I must personally commend you to Commander Arkwright, both of you.
Well, that won't be necessary, Colonel. Don't be so noble, Junior. I can use a commendation.
Oh, doesn't everybody love you, Roger?
Everybody doesn't matter, Marja, as long as you do. That's my boy. He never gives up.
Well, he'd better give up now. I've got to go check the animals.
Oh, why not leave that to Vance Spraymore? He'll see they're properly bedded down.
I'd like to see to him myself. After all, I'm the one who goes into the cages.
Suit yourself, my dear.
How about me coming along?
Stay put, Roger. I've always found it easier to handle 20 cats than one wolf, particularly of the two-legged variety.
Quite a fire, aren't you, you devils? Go on, keep whimpering. It's going to get a lot hotter before it gets cooler.
Vance!
What the?
Vance Claymore! Vance, are you crazy? Fire! Easy, baby. Easy. The water bucket. Where? Here.
Put down that bucket. I said put it down.
Are you crazy? The whole circus will go up in flames.
That's the idea, Marja.
What?
Too bad you had to show up now. Not on your life, Princess. I'll take care of you. It's one fire that nobody's going to put out. And when it's over, the greatest show in the universe will be only a grease spot on the surface of Venus.
We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, in just a moment, so stand by.
Spaceman, put yourself in Tom Corbett's place. Suppose you were out on the frozen wastes of Pluto. Suppose you were scouting the dark side of Mercury in a jet boat. Well, you'd make sure you were protected against the elements. You'd make sure that you could see what was going on every second. That's why space goggles were designed and issued to every space cadet. The very same official space goggles that are waiting for you right now at Space Academy Supply Headquarters. Now, these aren't ordinary goggles. No, sir, not by a long shot. These are futuristic. These space goggles are made of one sweeping clear plastic shell, a curved shell that fits over both eyes at the same time. Now, they protect your eyes when you're working with tools and shield you whenever you're racing into the wind. Supply Headquarters has them all ready for you. All you have to do is just to put in your order. Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal, the cereal with that swell whole wheat and malt flavor, will take care of the rest. Now, write down these official instructions. Send one Kellogg's Pep box top, 25 cents, your name and address. Repeat, 25 cents, one Kellogg's Pep box top, your name and address. Send that to Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. That's it, spaceman, so hop to it. Send for your official space goggles today.
Tom Corbett and Roger Manning have successfully transported the first Earth circus to Venus. Now in the mess tent, talking with Colonel Wilberforce, the circus owner, they are awaiting the return of Princess Marja, who has gone to the menagerie tent to see how her animals are acclimating themselves to the strange conditions of another planet.
Well, I certainly hope nothing else happens now. I'll go along with that. We've had enough excitement on this one.
Have no fear, my boys, have no fear. What could possibly happen now?
Tent. These cages are too heavy. Maybe on Earth, but not here on Venus. What? The gravity here isn't quite as great as on Earth. How many men did it take to move them down there? 4 or 5? Well, then 3 teams of men could do it, Tom. Right. You organize the roustabouts into crews. I'll send back to the space freighter for our fire equipment.
No time for that. It'll spread too fast.
We've got a chance. The oxygen content of the air on Venus is lower than on Earth. It will slow up the spread of the flames. If we work fast, we may get it under control. Not much tent left, though. But every one of the animals is safe. You got all the cages out in time? Yeah.
Are any of them injured? Burned?
Frankly, Colonel, I don't know. And crawling into a cage to find out is not in my line.
But did you see Vance Traymore? I'll have him checked.
No, I didn't see him. Hey, wait a minute. What about Marcia? Blast my jets, I forgot about her.
Good heavens! You don't think she and Traymore were in the tent?
Oh, no, they couldn't have been. Or could they? We'll never find out standing here. Come on, Junior, let's start searching. Anything, Roger?
No. Well, that's a relief. She wasn't trapped in the fire.
But where is she?
I'm no fortune teller, Roger.
Tom, I may be space happy, but I can't stand this setup. The way she loved those cats, she'd have been at the fire the moment she saw it.
I know. She's either been hurt or...
Or what?
Well, let's not think about it. Better just keep looking.
Tom!
What is it?
Over here!
What?
Look.
A woman's purse.
That's Marge's. I saw her take makeup out of it.
And look at the vegetation around here. All broken, stamped on.
Looks like a fight.
You can see footprints in the soft soil.
Yeah, 2 sets.
Those little prints. Marge's?
Maybe. But who belongs to the others?
There's only one way to find out. Follow them.
All right, Marge, you're inside.
This jet boat? Why?
Don't argue. Just get in or I'll have to get tough again. Well, that's smart. Now we got a nice, cozy place to talk and still be all set for a fast getaway if necessary.
What have we got to talk about?
Don't you like conversation?
Like to understand what you're doing. Why you're doing it.
Let's say I'm an ambitious guy.
Ambitious? For what?
My own show. I'd go a long way to get that.
Like burning down the menagerie tent?
And further. You know, at first I was sorry you came along when you did, but maybe it isn't so bad.
And how do you figure that out?
You're a big act, Marge. The star of Wilberforce's show.
Thank you.
Only now you've got no circus to be star of.
But Vance, the colonel will be...
Ruined. He staked his bankroll on this space junket. Right now, his show isn't worth its weight in cosmic clinkers. That goes for your job.
You've lost your job, too, remember?
Yeah. But I picked up a half share in another circus doing it.
Another circus?
Yeah, the Dimitro show.
Dimitro. So that's the slimy snake who put you up to this, huh?
But I named my own price. Be smart, Marge, and you can name yours.
No, thanks.
Don't be hasty. Don't make any snap decisions.
When you work with a big cat, Vance, you learn to make fast decisions. And make them right, otherwise you don't last long.
The same thing goes here. There's only one alternative to joining up with me.
And, that is?
Death, Marge. I can't risk your testifying as to who started that fire.
In other words, I've got to play it your way.
In any words.
Suppose I do agree. I can always hold my knowledge over your head.
You underestimate me, Marge. I can take care of that any time. And speaking of time, you've only got a little of it left to make up your mind.
Do you realize where this trail is leading us to, Tom? To the spaceport, if I've got my bearings right.
You have. Why should anyone be heading that way? There's no rockets taking off tonight.
Maybe not, but it'll be tough to sneak up on anyone there because of open spaces to cross and nothing to take shelter behind.
We'd be sitting ducks for anyone with a ray gun.
That's right. When we get there, take advantage of every bit of cover you can find, every shadow.
Don't worry, Junior. I'm not anxious to be a target.
Watch it. We're coming to the last of the brush now.
And look, there go the footprints right across the spaceport.
Straight for the jet boats over there.
Come on, let's go.
Not that way. We've got to circle around, Roger. I've got a hunch that this is one time when the straight and narrow path leads right to destruction. Looks like the end of the line, Roger.
It's a cinch she went into this jet boat.
And not by herself, either. Remember those other footprints?
Why do you think I've got my parallel ray handy?
Great. But that isn't going to get us into the jet.
Got any ideas?
Well, with an ultra-frequency torch, we could cut the lockout and be inside in less than a minute.
Good. I'll get one from the space freighter.
Watch it, Roger. Oh, my gosh.
You think they heard?
Yeah, and how?
That's Margie.
I know.
No point in secrecy anymore. Come on, let's try to break in.
Okay, Roger, we'll... Listen!
Great galaxy, he's going to blast off.
Then we'd better get away from here fast. His rocket exhaust could fry us to a crisp.
Right, start running.
Watch it, Roger. There's his blast.
Hit the dirt.
Oh!
We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, in just a moment, so stand by.
Spacemen, your own official space goggles are now waiting for you at Space Academy Supply Headquarters. These are the very same space goggles worn by Tom Corbett and all the other cadets. Now, Kellogg's Pep, the cereal with that swell whole wheat and malt flavor, makes it possible for you to get these official goggles. You'll thrill to the advanced design, just like Tom Corbett did when he got his set. Here's a telerecorder message from him to tell you all about it.
Spaceman, that's right. These new space goggles are really something. You see, space goggles are made of one sweeping, curved plastic shield that covers both eyes at the same time. They can even be worn over regular glasses. And many's the time they've helped me out when I've been in a tough spot. You'll want to wear space goggles every time you're on your bike or skates. They'll protect your eyes from the wind. It's a good idea to wear them when you're working with tools, too. So let's go, spaceman. Send for your space goggles right away. End transmission.
Thanks, Tom. Spacemen, to get your official space goggles, send 25 cents, 1 Kellogg's Pep box top, your name and address. Better write that down. 25 cents, 1 Kellogg's Pep box top, your name and address. Send to this address. Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. That's all you do, spacemen. So send for your official space goggles today.
Princess Margia, star of the Wilberforce Circus, has been abducted by Vance Tremor after seeing him start a fire in the menagerie tent. Tom and Roger, having directed a successful firefighting job, follow the princess's footprints from the circus lot to the spaceport, where she is being held in a jet boat. But before they can break in, Tremor blasts off, and the boys run for their lives to escape the fury of his rocket exhaust. Now, as the jet boat heads skyward, two prone figures lie motionless on the spaceport.
Roger, are you still kicking, Junior?
All right.
Just about. The heat from that rocket practically melted the fillings of my teeth. Well, what do we do now?
Go after them in the other jet boat. You handle the radar scanner, and I'll handle the controls. And both of us pray.
Can't you get any more out of her, Tom?
She's taking all she can, and my cooling pumps are working their limit.
Well, I'm getting nothing on the scanner.
Relax, Roger. You got a good start on us.
Relax. That's what I like. Real useful advice I could...
Hey, you got him on the scanner?
Yeah. I'm tracking him now.
Sounds like we're gaining on him.
You bet we are. The image on the scanner keeps getting bigger as the beeps come faster.
That must be really a slow jet boat.
Yeah, we ought to be close enough soon so you can see him through the viewport.
You're right. There it is.
Lumbering through space like an old cow. But isn't there one small thing you haven't figured, Tom?
What?
How do we get Margie and whoever's with her out of there?
Well, just keep following. He'll have to land eventually.
Not before we do. Look at our fuel gauge.
Uh-oh.
These fast babies always eat up the fuel. He can probably maneuver 3 times longer than we can.
I guess you're right.
So, where are we? With Margie in there, we can't shoot him down.
No, but we can force him to descend.
Huh?
You willing to take a chance, Roger?
On what?
Well, we're out beyond atmosphere now. If we rammed him...
But Margie's
I don't mean to smash him. Just hit hard enough to make a small hole in the boat. Leave him with a slow oxygen leak.
That'll take some fancy maneuvering, Junior.
Maybe, but it's the only thing I can think of.
Okay, let's try.
I'll stay here at the viewport with me. I'll need 2 pairs of eyes for this job.
Right. Accelerate, Tom.
How am I doing?
So far, fine. Your line of approach is perfect.
Bearing 0?
Right as you are. Set with your braking rockets?
All set.
You'll have to blast them practically the same instant you hit, so you can pull back before you go clean through that jet scow.
I'm ready.
When we get within 5 seconds, I'll toll off the distance.
Right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0! Take those brakes! We're clear!
Did we ram too hard?
No, Tom. Beautiful. A hole the size of a basketball.
I was
The oxygen leak's beginning to register. He's going down. Get on his tail.
All right, I'll stay with him if I have to land right on his back or our own.
Nice going, Tom. We can set down close beside him.
You get ready to jump out the minute we land.
All set. Come on, Tom.
Right, with you. Stand back. Try to take me and the princess die.
Yes, Traymore, so it was you.
Don't let him bluff you, Tom.
Bluff, eh? What do you think this is jammed into your back, princess?
My parallel rail fix him.
Roger's got a heat gun.
Right, and my other arm's around his throat. It guarantees I won't miss.
You can't get away with this, Traymore.
You want to bet any credits on that space boy? All right, Marcia, start backing up.
Where are you taking me?
We're taking over that jet boat. Stand away from the entrance hatch, you two.
If you didn't have that arm around her neck, I'd take a chance
That's
on...
what I have. Now, come on, Marcia, back up.
Suppose instead I fight.
Oh!
Come on, Roger.
Right with you.
Princess, out of the way.
Right, Tom. I'll get him with my parallel rail.
Nothing doing.
What a suck.
Just as effective as a parallel ray and a lot more satisfying.
Are you all right, Princess?
I guess so.
Oh, you poor baby. Come here and let me put my arms around
Oh,
you.
look, Roger, just now I'm allergic to clinches from anybody.
Oh, I just thought a little tenderness might help calm your nerves. Bring a little peace and quiet.
Peace and quiet is what I need, all right. And I'm going to get it as soon as you take me back to the circus lot. After this space raid, I'm heading for the safest, calmest place I know. Right in the middle of the cage with 20 big, loving cats all around me.
Don't miss the next action-packed adventure of Tom Corbett and the Space Cadets on Tuesday, when they face revolt and a desperate struggle with the most dangerous criminals in the universe at Prison Rock. Tune in, same time, same station for the next thrilling interplanetary adventure with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet.
Brought to you by Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal.
Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, starring Frankie Thomas, can also be seen on television and appears in the comic sections of many of America's leading newspapers. Look for it daily and in weekend editions. Featured in the cast were Jan Merlin, John Griggs, Leon Janney, and Connie Lemke. Today's program was written by Palmer Thompson and directed by Drex Hines. Jackson Beck speaking.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Raisins and Bran Flakes, too. They're out of this world. They're out of one package. Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Kellogg's raisins are honeycomb coated to keep them tender. The Bran Flakes crisper. Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Raisins and Bran Flakes, too. They're out of this world. They're out of one package. Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Eat Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Eat Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Eat Kellogg's Raisin Bran.
You, finding life rather dull, dreaming again of exotic places, wishing you were somewhere else, we offer you Escape.
Escape with us now to New Orleans during Mardi Gras, behind the gaiety of which lies a nightmare world of terror and death, as John and Gwen Dagny tell it in The Man Who Stole the Bible.
I didn't mean to steal the Bible. That wasn't my intention. Well, I've never taken as much as a towel or an ashtray out of a hotel. And if I'd known the night of terror would lead me into, I'd never have taken it at all. Mardi Gras in New Orleans. A gay time. A lot of laughs if you're in on it. But me, I was stuck in a stuffy hotel room waiting for a call from the boss. And the sound of all those people out in the street having fun got on my nerves. Operator! Come on, operator.
Your order, please.
This is Mr. Cummings, room 302. Whatever happened to that bellhop I sent for?
Would you speak louder? I can't hear you, sir.
I said this is...
Just a minute.
Operator!
What was it you wanted?
A bellhop. I want him to bring me something to read, anything. You said half an hour ago he was on his way up.
Hasn't he answered your call yet, Mr. Cummings?
No, he has not.
Well, I'm sorry, sir. The hotel's so crowded. It's a Mardi Gras, you know. It's almost impossible. Just a minute.
Operator. Oh, no. I paced back and forth, wishing the boss would call me so I could get out of the room. I didn't dare leave even to go down and get a paper. He's that kind of a guy, expects you to be on tap all the time. There was no radio in the room and nothing to read. I went through all the drawers, hoping somebody had left behind a magazine or a seed catalog, anything. And then I found it. The Bible. The Gideon Bible. For years I'd seen them in hotel rooms, but I'd never paid any attention to them. Now I opened the book. 1 Samuel chapter 19. I lay down on the bed and started to read. The knock surprised me. I'd forgotten about the bellhop. I got up to go to the door, and I realized I had the Bible in my hand. It's a fine thing when a man feels embarrassed caught reading the Bible, but that's how I felt, embarrassed. I stuffed it under the pillow and went to the door. Well, you sure took your time. Oh, hey, I thought it was the bellhop. Who are you?
House detective. Sorry to disturb you.
Well, that's all right. What's the matter?
Seems that the woman that had this room before you lost her pocketbook. She thinks she left it here.
Well, I'm sorry. There's no pocketbook here.
Well, I better take a look.
Well, I'd have seen it if it was here, but come on in if you want.
Thanks.
See, there's no pocketbook in here.
Yeah, but she's sure she left it here. I'll have to go through everything.
Now, look, there's nothing in there but my stuff. You have to...
Oh, well, what's the matter? Don't you want me to look for it?
No, it isn't that. I just don't like people going through my things, that's all.
Look, she had some money in it. Now, you wouldn't want me to say you refused to let me look around for it, would you?
Oh, no, of course not. Go ahead. Well, I've been through all those drawers already.
Well, I just take another look. Doesn't seem likely that the maids would have overlooked it, but once in a while something gets left in a drawer.
Yeah, I know. But there's nothing in there.
No, I guess you're right. That's amazing, the things people leave behind in hotels.
Yeah, guess it is.
Yeah. Nobody else been in here, has he?
No, nobody. Can't even get a bellhop in here.
You been out of the room?
No. And look, I'm not responsible for anything that was left here.
No, of course not. Well, I'm sorry to have bothered you.
Oh, that's all right. Oh, say, tell that bellhop to get up here, will you?
Yeah, I'll tell him. Good night.
He was a strange guy, but I suppose all house dicks are. I don't know. I've never had anything to do with one before this. I lay down again and went back to reading the Bible. Once I got used to the old-fashioned language, I found it pretty interesting. The story of David, anyway. A guy being chased by everybody, not knowing who his enemies were, every minute expecting to get killed. I was down to the part where David's wife put the dummy in his bed as a decoy to save his life when I was interrupted again. This time, I automatically stuck the Bible under the pillow and went to the door.
Hello.
Well, hello.
I'm having the most awful time. I've tried and tried, but it just won't work. And the room's so stuffy.
How's that?
The window in my room, it won't open. Would you open it for me?
Oh, sure. Just show me. Which room is it?
Right next to yours. Just around this corner. Room 300. I have the same trouble on buses. The windows never open. It drives me mad. You can see how stuffy the room is.
This window?
Mm-hmm. Well, isn't that odd? It opened for you.
Yeah, it did. Easy, too. Well, so does this one.
I can't understand it.
You're sure you tried?
You don't think I'd come to your door and ask you to come over here if I didn't need something, do you?
It's been done.
I won't argue with that. But now that you're here, would you like to have a drink? For your trouble, I mean.
No, I don't think
You can watch the parade much better here than on your side of the building.
No, I can't. Listen.
What's the matter?
Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta go. That's my phone.
Wait, don't go. You can have the call transferred here. But it's silly to go all the way back.
Hello, Cummings. Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, I've been waiting for your call. Now, look, I covered the whole territory down here. Things look pretty healthy. You see, the main difficulty has been... I stared at my briefcase. I'd left it on the dresser. Now it was on the bed. And everything had been pulled out of it. The closet door was ajar. The drawers in the bureau were open. My Gladstone apparently hadn't been touched, but everything else had. I heard the boss talking trends and business conditions, but my mind was on a girl who wanted a window open. A window that wasn't stuck while somebody searched my room.
Well, that's about the whole ball of wax.
Finally, he finished talking, and I hung up. There was no reason now for me to stay in the room. I gathered up my stuff, and I took the Bible from under the pillow. Funny, I'd gotten interested in it. I wanted to go on reading it. So I stuck it in my top coat and walked out of the room. On my way to the elevator, I had a sudden impulse. I stopped in front of room 300 and knocked. Oh, excuse me, where?
Nobody here now, mister. The lady checked out.
Oh, that's impossible. I was just
I don't
here.
know anything about that, but she checked out a couple of minutes ago. I got to clean it up after her right now. I'm going to be glad when Mardi Gras is over. Everybody goes crazy. Hotel goes crazy. People check in, check out, and steal everything that ain't tied down.
Steal?
I said steal. Ashtrays, bath towels, soap. Wouldn't be surprised if they take the beds next.
The Bible in my pocket suddenly felt like a pound of uranium. I wondered if the cleaning woman could read the guilt on my face. But she put her wastebasket down in the hall and went back in to clean the room. For a second, I considered taking the Bible back to room 302. And maybe I would have if it hadn't been for the discarded book jacket in the wastebasket. It was gaudy, red and yellow. I grabbed it up, put it around the Bible. The title read, "You Will Die Tonight."
Front boy, show this gentleman to 506. Oh, checking out, Mr. Cummings?
Right.
Let me see, you were in room...
302.
302? Oh.
What's the matter?
Oh, Mr. Cummings, I've had so much trouble over that room. I was supposed to hold it for a lady, but you can't keep rooms vacant during Mardi Gras. I gave her the room next to yours, but she kicked like crazy to the manager.
Next to me?
Mm-hmm, yeah. Room 300. She checked out just a few minutes ago.
Well, I don't know what this is all about, but there's something peculiar going on in room 302.
Peculiar?
Yeah, I didn't mind the house detectives coming in to look for the purse, but I didn't like having my stuff searched while I was out of the room.
Searched?
That's right, I said searched.
Mr. Cummings, you say the house detective did this?
Yeah, he said the woman who had the room before me left her purse.
Oh, but that's impossible, Mr. Cummings.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, a man had the room ahead of you. Yes, I'm positive of it. Just a moment, I have the register right here. Yes, Mr. Gregory. Mm-hmm. Now, the house detective isn't on duty today, but when he comes in tomorrow...
Not on duty? Well, then what was he doing in my room?
Today, Mr. Cummings?
Of course, today. Tonight. A tall guy with black hair.
Oh, there's some mistake, Mr. Cummings. Our house detective, Mr. Sinclair, is short-fat and bald, and he hasn't been in the hotel all day. He's home sick.
It had the makings of an interesting little intrigue. But I left the mystery of room 302 with the room clerk and went to the cigar stand. It was 8 o'clock. My train wouldn't leave until midnight.
Hey, yes, sir. What'll it be? Cigarettes or cigars?
Cigars. 3 Coronas. No. Make it 6.
Always like to sell cigars. Men don't smoke cigars like they used to. Cigarettes, that's the fashion today. But give me a good cigar every time.
Well, somebody's having a good time.
Oh, they all have a good time during the carnival.
Say, I wonder where I could check my bag and briefcase for a little while.
You going to see the parade?
Well, I thought I would. Mill around a little bit. I've got a couple hours to kill.
Well, I'll be glad to keep it for you. I'm on duty till midnight.
Would you? Well, that's mighty nice of you.
Oh, don't mind at all. Mardi Gras is something to see. You shouldn't miss it. But you'll have more fun if you're in a costume. The hotel's got it for rent.
Oh, no, thanks. I'll go as I am. He stuffed my stuff under his counter, and I elbowed my way across the crowded lobby to the street door. Through the glass, my eyes met the eyes of another man. A tall man with black hair. The man who had said he was the house detective. I swung the hotel door open. Had a few questions I wanted to ask that boy. Thought he was swallowed up in the crowd. And then a big hand clapped me on the shoulder, and a voice boomed in my ear.
There you are, sinner!
I whirled around and looked into the mask of a laughing, red-faced devil.
Don't try to evade me, sinner. I've come to collect you with my nice, shiny pitchfork. But when the devil comes for you, your time is up.
All I could see in the mask was a pair of eyes. They were green eyes, and they were laughing. And the devil threw his arm around my shoulder and urged me along the street. I balked a little. I hadn't had anything to drink, and the whole thing seemed kind of silly, but before I knew what happened, the clown grabbed my other arm.
Let's take the sinner to the fiery burden.
And the two of them, the devil and the clown, were propelling me down the street toward a parked car.
Come on, sinner! Fiery burden!
Hey, now, wait a minute. Wait.
Oh, the sinner's reluctant. Push him in, clown.
Come on, look, fellas. Hey, you guys. Hey, let me out. Look, where are you going?
All right, let's have it.
What?
The Bible you took out of room 302.
Bible? Hey, you're not drunk.
Don't waste time on it. Listen.
Look, I don't know who you are, but...
You hadn't got it on. What'd you do with it? Where is it?
Well, I told you I haven't got it.
That's just to let you know we're not playing. Now, come on, let's take it again. Where's the Bible?
Look, I tell you, I haven't got it. I had it, but I guess I lost it.
Lost it? Where'd you lose it?
I don't know. Why, you...
Don't do that, sinner. It's easy for me to pull this trigger to look at you.
Well, look, I'm telling you the truth. I haven't got it anymore.
All right, you haven't got it. But you'll tell me where it is, you understand, if I have to kill you to find out. Hey, what are you stopping here for?
Well, a crowd. I can't get through.
Come on, let's get moving. Get out of here.
Well, what do you want me to do? Drive over? Look, fellas, you're shot. Go on!
A bunch of revelers, drunk and out for bear, opened the back door of the car and started climbing over us. Nothing would stop them from weaving through. They thought it was fun, pushing and shoving each other. One of them fell, sprawled across the devil's lap, and they began to pile up. And suddenly I knew this was escape. I climbed out of the car. I ran blindly away from them. I saw a cab at an intersection. I ran out, opened the door, and there he was, in the back seat, the phony house detective. I slammed the cab door and bolted across the street. There was a policeman on the corner directing traffic. I ran up to him.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
He's trying to kill me. You gotta help me.
Kill you? Who's trying to kill you?
The devil. He's after me.
The devil, you say?
Yeah, and the clown, too.
Not Mickey Mouse?
I mean it. I'm serious.
You're drunker than you look,
I haven't had a drink. I tell you, they're trying to kill me.
And why would they be doing that?
Because they want the Bible.
The Bible?
Yeah. But you see, I stole the Bible, and here they come down. Who? The devil and the clown across the street.
You gotta get me out of it. You gotta stop him. He'll kill me.
Oh, now, sure. Now, take it easy, Uncle. Take it easy.
There you are, sinner. Come on. What are you trying to do? Get us in trouble?
Trouble?
Sure. He's going to miss the party.
It's all a trick. Don't listen to them.
This young fella claims you're trying to kill him.
Me? Oh, no, not me. But if he doesn't get to that party pretty soon, his wife will kill him.
Party, they're lying. There isn't any party. They're lying, I tell you.
Now, you all be good boys. Now, move on. Go someplace else instead of your squabble. I gotta keep this shop
Please,
moving.
officer, please.
What the policeman said. Come on,
Officer.
Now, beat it. Now, go on
I
with it.
demand to be arrested. I demand it.
Go on, I said. Now, go on.
Officer, you're a no-good white trash fool.
I'm a what? If it wasn't Mardi Gras, I'd run you in.
And you want to arrest me? Okay. But remember, I didn't want to do it.
But that's a dirty Yankee trick striking an officer. All right, young fella, that does it. You're under arrest.
We'll return to Escape and today's story, The Man Who Stole the Bible, in just a moment. For Friday night entertainment, packed with something or other, we heartily recommend Rayburn and Finch, those two unpredictable record rascals who make merry Friday nights on most of these same CBS radio stations. Right now, the melody-minded monkey shiners are up to their elbows in a contest. They're determined to give away discs by the thousands, also a few automobiles and some trips to New York. Enjoy the music and get in on the contest details tomorrow night. You'll have fun trying, more fun winning. It's Rayburn and Finch on CBS Radio Friday nights. And now we return you to The Man Who Stole the Bible, tonight's story of Escape.
I sat in the drunk tank in the New Orleans jail and tried to figure it out. Who were the devil and the clown and the phony house detective? Why was the Bible so important that they'd even kill me to get it? My bags were back at the cigar counter in the hotel. My train was scheduled to leave at midnight. How was I going to get out of New Orleans? Already it was 10 o'clock, and as long as I stayed in jail, I'd be safe. But that didn't last long. I hadn't been there a half hour when a cop came for me and took me to the desk sergeant.
New Orleans police. 98. Yeah. Here's your personal belongings coming. You're released. You can go now. Try to behave yourself. We're pretty busy tonight.
Released?
Yeah. You know you're a lucky guy? Culpepper decided not to press charges against you. You know what you could get for stacking an officer?
But aren't you going to hold me?
Your fine's been paid. Now go on. Get on out of here. And keep out of trouble, will you?
But I am in trouble. That's what I tried to tell the cop, but he wouldn't listen to me. I had to hit him. My fine? Somebody paid my fine?
All cars. Yeah, it's been paid.
But who? Who paid it?
I don't know who it was. He didn't give me no name. He just paid it.
Was it a man in a devil's costume?
Huh?
Or a clown?
Oh, now look.
What did he look like?
How do I know what he looked like? He was an ordinary-looking guy. Tall, big, and he had black hair.
The house detective.
The who?
They'll kill me. I tell you, they'll kill me.
South Rapids Street.
I hadn't heard her come into the station. She moved so quietly. She was a nun, and she was talking excitedly in French. I wasn't paying much attention to her. I was thinking instead of my own problem. The house detective had paid my fine. He wanted me out of jail. He wanted me loose on the street. Why? And the devil and the clown, are they with him? Were all of them waiting outside that door for me?
Now, please, sister. Look, I wish I could help you. But I can't understand the word you're saying.
Monsieur, les gens dans la route m'empêchent de trouver mon chemin. Ils me prennent pour un des participants.
Oh, English, Kate. You speak a little English, sister?
Oh, pardon, monsieur. Masquerade. Costume. The people think masquerade. No masquerade.
Look, I think she's trying to say that people on the streets think she's wearing a masquerade costume.
Merci bien, monsieur. I am loose.
You mean lost?
Oui, monsieur, lost. I am expect at convent au Vieux Carré.
Oh, the Vieux Carré. That's the French Quarter, eh?
Exactement, oui. I try for taxicab.
Called, how you say, push me around. Pouvez-vous envoyer un de vos gendarmes?
What? Gendarme. Oh, well, she wants you to send a policeman to help her get to the convent.
Oui, monsieur.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry, sister. I'd be glad to, but I ain't got anybody in right now. If you don't mind sticking around for a while, I'll be...
Sticking around?
The sergeant, the prefect, says he's sorry, and if you'll wait, there's no one available right now to help you. Wait a minute. The nun stood there, frightened and bewildered, out of place in the police station. But for me, it was a miraculous break. Sure, I could walk out of that police station with her. And if they were waiting outside, waiting to get me, I could walk right by them. They wouldn't dare touch me as long as I was with a nun. I could take her to the convent, and once there, I'd be safe.
Je suis désolé, que puis-je faire?
I'll take the sister to the convent, Sergeant.
Well, it's okay with me if it's okay with her.
Merci, monsieur. Merci mille fois.
As she walked out of the police station, I took her arm. To help her, yes, but also to steady my own fear. Any minute, I expected to see one or all of them. The devil, the clown, the house detective. But they weren't in sight. There were people milling about on the street, but not the three I feared. And strangely, not finding them there frightened me more than ever. I found a cab and gave the driver the address of the convent. The nun and I didn't try to talk. I realized this whole thing was difficult for her, and I didn't feel like talking. Too much had happened to me for one night. The cab pulled up in front of an ancient building in the French Quarter, crumbling cement and wrought ironwork. We got out, and I walked with her to the big front door. The nun raised the knocker, and I knew I'd been had. You!
What is wrong?
Fingernails. Red, polished fingernails. You're not a nun.
Where have you been?
Hurry, boys, he's wise.
Come on, you inside.
It was the devil and the clown. They yanked me into the house. And the girl. Stared at her. Back in the police station, I hadn't really looked at her face. Her black robe had spelled freedom to me. That's as far as I'd thought. But now I knew I'd seen her before. Only before, she'd worn a green dress and a scarlet mouth to match her fingernails. And her hair had been blonde and long. And she wanted a window open. A window that wasn't stuck.
You've given us a lot of trouble.
I'm sorry, but
You've
I
been
don't...
very patient. Now we want the Bible.
I told you before, I don't have it.
You had it.
I had it? Yes, I had it. I took it. I don't know why I took it, but I lost it.
Who sent you to get it? I'll handle him. All right. Who you working for? Maloney?
Look. There's some mistake. I'm a salesman. I sell washing machines.
You're lying.
Look, I tell you.
Where's the stuff? Has Poloni got it?
What stuff? I don't know any Poloni. What are you slapping me around for? That won't get you any place.
Oh, won't it?
Let me talk to him. Look, if you're covering up for Poloni...
Who's Poloni? I don't know any Poloni.
Poloni wouldn't take a beating for you.
I tell you...
Whatever he's paying you, we'll pay you more.
We'll pay him nothing. You hand over that Bible or tell us where the junk's stashed, or so help me, I'll kill him.
Dope. So that's what it is. Dope.
Yeah, Mr. Innocent. That's what it is. Dope. Heroin and cocaine, 100 grand worth.
Stop it. Tell him we'll never find us. Listen to me. What's your name?
Cummings.
You work for Poloni, Cummings. Nobody but Poloni knows about that Bible. You came to hijack the stuff.
Tell you, don't know Poloni.
Stop lying. Poloni knew our carrier was hot. That he had to drop the stuff somewhere in New Orleans.
You're wasting your time, baby. I'll make him talk. Are you going to talk?
I do.
You want the butt of this gun right across your face.
You got to believe me. He hit me with the gun. I tried to keep my eyes open. I hang on to conscience. Across the room, I saw the door open, and in it stood a man with another gun. A big man with black hair. The phony house detective. Was his name Poloni? I didn't know how long I was out. When I came to, I was lying on a bed. My head was throbbing. My cheeks, my nose, every bone in my face seemed on fire. There was a cold cloth on my eyes. I tried to think. Why did I hurt so? Oh, yeah. The Bible. They wanted the Bible. But I didn't have it. That was a good thing. If I had it, they'd kill me. And then I smelled something. A strong cigar. It burned the inside of my nose. I rolled over to get away from it and opened my eyes. The devil and the clown were gone. So was the girl. I was alone with the phony house detective.
All right. Let's not waste any more time. What did you do with the Bible?
Where are the others?
They've been taken care of. Look, you took the Bible that belongs in this room. Now, what did you do with it?
This room? Yeah, room 302. What am I doing back in the hotel?
You have no right to touch that Bible. Now think, what did you do with it? Where is it?
Oh, look, I told them. I must have lost it. I don't know.
I got it.
Well, here's the gentleman who left his suitcases with me. Mr. Cummings?
Suitcases? Come on in. Who are you?
I run the cigar stand in the lobby. I saw you bring Mr. Cummings in. If you don't mind my saying so, quite tight. Yeah. I'm going off duty in a little while, and I thought he needed his things. You see, he checked them with me.
Thanks.
Oh, I almost forgot. Here's his book.
No, don't leave the book.
Well, you forgot it on the
No, I don't want the book. You can have it.
I'll take the book.
No, don't give it to him.
What the... All right, thanks for your trouble.
Oh, don't mention it. Hope he feels better tomorrow.
Now, at last, the Bible. You will die tonight. You know, that's a pretty clever stunt, covering the Bible with a whodunit jacket.
Oh, it's baloney. I don't know. I swear I just took
Baloney? No, not baloney. Let's see. Third book, second chapter. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, chapter 1, 2. Yes, here's the address of the warehouse where the stuff is.
I don't understand. If you're not Poloni, who are you?
John Stang, United States Treasury Department, Narcotics Division.
Gee, man. Well, I thought you...
Look, you made my job very difficult tonight, Mr. Cummings. We traced the narcotics carrier all the way around the world to New Orleans, to room 302. But when we arrested him, he was clean. He didn't have the evidence. Room 302 was the link. The girl, Frenchie, was to take this room, and I would have followed her to where the evidence was stashed. It's as simple as that. But you stepped in and threw us all off.
Oh, why didn't you tell me you were a government man when you came in tonight to look for the pocketbook?
How did I know that you weren't a new member of the mob? Look, take my advice, Mr. Cummings. Quit stealing things out of hotels.
Oh, look. I never stole a thing in my life before. This is the
But
first
there's
time...
one thing that I can't figure out. Why did you steal a Bible?
You're not going to believe this. But honest, I just wanted to finish the story.
You have just heard Escape, produced and directed by William N. Robeson. Tonight's original radio play, The Man Who Stole the Bible, was written by John and Gwen Bagney. Sam Pierce was heard as Cummings, Nan Boardman as the girl, Ben Wright as the house detective, Joseph Kearns as the devil, Jeff Corey as the clown, Mary Shipp as the telephone operator and the maid, Wally Mayer as the desk clerk and police sergeant, Peter Leeds as the traffic policeman and the cigar stand clerk, and Lou Krugman as the voice. The special musical score was composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Arthur Godfrey's still soaking up relaxation. And while the redhead vacations, Robert Q. Lewis is in full charge of the fun and informality that dominates Arthur Godfrey time all the time. Enjoy this sparkling variety show with its familiar fun makers every weekday on most of these same CBS radio stations. The address again? Why, sure.
CBS.
B.
For the best.
S.
Yes, yes, yes. The star's address is CBS.
And remember, Steve Allen is here with songs for sale every Saturday.
Instant Ralston and regular Ralston, the hot whole wheat cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy are trying to drive off one of Prince Baccarati's atmosphere ships before it destroys a small submarine in the great sea of Planet X.
We're driving him off, Hap.
Yes, sir. He's cut on all rockets. But what happened to the sub?
We'll take care of it later, after we've chased that atmosphere ship away.
Commander, they're firing at us.
They want to play rough, we'll cooperate. Stand by to fire space torpedoes.
We're hit!
We knocked out our starboard rockets. We're out of control.
Commander, we're going to crash!
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Sea Monster of Planet X. Only 9 days left to enter the Name the Planet contest.
Space Patrollers, this is Commander Corey, reminding you that you have only 9 more days to enter the Name the Planet contest and win the giant rocket clubhouse and $1,500. Only 9 days left to win one of the 750 Schwinn varsity bicycles. But that's time enough to enter and win if you act fast. First, go to your Weatherbird shoe store. Say, let's listen in on a fellow who just arrived at his Weatherbird store.
Hi, Mr. Weatherbird Man. I want a coin album and entry blank for the Name the Planet contest.
You bet, son. Here you are. And it's absolutely free. You don't have to buy a thing.
Inside that free coin album are 3 space coins and a place to write your name for Planet X. Then, just get 3 more space coins from 3 packages of Hot Ralston. You'll find a space coin in every Hot Ralston package. Put those 3 coins into the empty slots you'll see in your coin album. Then, write the best name you can think of for Planet X on the entry blank and mail it to the address shown in the album. Of course, you keep the album with the 6 exciting space coins for your own collection. But don't delay. I want every space patroller to have the opportunity to win my rocket clubhouse and $1,500. And 750 of you are going to win Schwinn varsity bikes. Remember, go to your Weatherbird shoe store today. Get your free coin album and space coins. Then get 3 more space coins from 3 packages of Hot Ralston. The new Hot Ralston packages with a picture of Happy or myself on the front. And you'll be ready to send in your entry in the Name the Planet contest. Hurry, see your Weatherbird shoe dealer and get Hot Ralston today.
And now, today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Sea Monster of Planet X. What is the fate of Prince Baccarati? That's the question uppermost in the minds of Commander Corey and Cadet Happy as they maneuver the Terra 5 slowly over the great sea of Planet X. In their last adventure, Buzz and Happy cornered Baccarati and Dr. Malengro in a deserted city under the sea. But the prince and his henchmen slipped into an escape hatch and shot toward the surface in some sort of sealed capsule. Now, as their spaceship circles over the approximate location of the engulfed city, Buzz and Happy watch the viewscopes for a sign of the strange cylinder containing the 2 men.
There's not a thing on the surface, Commander. By the way that capsule shot out of that tube down there in the city, I thought sure it'd be bobbing on top of the sea like a cork.
A lot of things could have happened since then, Happy. It took us at least an hour to get back through the tunnels of the inland valley and then blast off. The chance that cylinder is more than just a sealed life raft. That cylinder might be able to submerge and move underwater.
Like a submarine.
Exactly. For all we know, it could move at tremendous speed.
And there's no telling where Baccarati is now. He may be hundreds of miles away. Or he might be heading for shore to get back to his spaceship.
He wouldn't try that, Happy. For hundreds of miles along here, the coast is lined with bluffs 1,000 feet high. Even if there was a stretch of beach, there's still those enormous breakers.
Yeah, waves a couple hundred feet high at least. Besides, if he got ashore, Baccarati would have an overland hike of 50 miles to the valley.
If Baccarati can control that cylinder, he'd probably try to get back to his castle.
But that's thousands of miles from the sea.
Yes. He has a few installations close to the rivers.
That's right. If he reached one of those, he could get a spaceship or an atmosphere job.
The mouth of the Colossus River is to the east, Happy. That's probably where Baccarati would head.
Yes.
If he's underwater, it'll be difficult to locate, but we can't give up till we find him and know for sure he'll never bother us again.
Meantime, far from the steep bluffs that rim the coastline of the Great Sea, a bullet-shaped craft skims the surface of the ocean at tremendous speed. Huddled in the tiny compartment, Prince Baccarati and Dr. Malengro anxiously study the small but baffling control panel and its weird symbols.
Malengro, do something to stop this thing.
But, Your Highness, I know nothing about this ship, or whatever it is. Remember, it was built hundreds of years ago by an ancient race here on planet X.
Don't give me a lecture. Get it stopped before it carries us out clear to the middle of the Great Sea.
I can only guess as to the function of these controls. Suppose I were to touch something that would open the hatch and let the water in, we would sink immediately.
Then don't touch it. Don't touch anything until you're sure.
Your Highness will be patient. I think I can reason it out. This indicator here seems to be a compass. It's logical to assume that the wheel inside the calibrated dial controls direction.
Careful now, Malengro.
We're changing course. See, Your Highness, I was right. This wheel controls the steering mechanism.
Then head back for the shore, quickly. We don't know how much fuel we have.
Excellency, I suggest that we proceed either up or down the coast. To approach close to the shore at this point, well, we'd be dashed against the cliffs.
All right. But at least let's not get out of the sight of the land.
I wonder which of these controls submerges the craft.
What do you want to submerge for?
Corey will be searching for us, you know. On the surface, we would be fairly easy to find.
Yes, that's right. But be careful now.
This vertical lever, I'm going to advance it slightly.
We're going under. Rise to the surface again. Malengro, do you hear me?
Yes, Your Highness.
Don't submerge again until you know how to control this thing.
Yes, Your Highness. But may I point out that the only way I can learn to control it is by trial and error.
Malengro, which way is the Colossus River?
We're heading roughly in that direction now, sire. Eastward.
Go up the river to my spaceship factory. If we go ashore now, we'll have to cross hundreds of miles on foot.
You are right, Excellency. The river is our best choice.
Do you think we have enough power to reach the factory?
I have no way of knowing, sir. We can only hope for the best.
Flying in a zigzag pattern over the surface of the Great Sea, Buzz and Happy work their way toward the mouth of the Colossus River. Hours go by, and still there is no sign of the bullet-shaped cylinder containing Baccarati and Malengro.
I guess they must have sunk, Commander. Perhaps. But let's not underrate the people that built that undersea city, Happy. Oh, we needed some help with our search. Yes, but who's going to help us? Why not Baccarati's own men? What? When he doesn't return to his castle in a reasonable length of time, they're going to come out to Crater Valley, aren't they?
I guess so. And they must have known he was headed there.
Of course. They'll find his ship. That means they'll make trouble for the natives, thinking they must have done something to the prince. We don't want that.
No, sir.
I've thought of a way to protect the natives and at the same time start Baccarati's men to searching the sea.
How, sir?
They'll go back to the valley and pick out Baccarati's ship with a magnetic holding field after cutting on the spacephone's distress signal in the other ship.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll circle back out to sea and after a time drop Baccarati's ship into the water.
Great. That'll bring a flock of his ships to search for him.
It should.
But how are we going to get Baccarati away from his men after they find him?
We've done it before, Hap. We can do it again.
Elsewhere, thousands of miles away in Prince Baccarati's castle, two men listen intently to a spaceophone signal.
That's the boss, all right, Arthur. He's in trouble.
Get a fix on him, Warbin.
I'm getting it. Out toward Crater Valley.
Those natives must be giving him a bad time.
Don't be stupid. What can ignorant natives do against a spaceship in flight?
That's right.
Besides, he's beyond the valley. He's out toward the Great Sea.
We better send some ships out after him. He stopped sending. Maybe he's okay now.
Look, Arthur, when an automatic emergency code signal cuts out, it means real trouble. He may have crashed.
Let's not sit here, Gavin. I'll alert the gang at the spaceport.
Wait a minute, hold it. This may be a chance to get ourselves in real good with Baccarati.
Wait a minute.
I send somebody else out to get the glory. We'll be relieved here in a few minutes. We'll get a ship and search for the boss on our own without telling anybody.
Yeah, I see what you mean. But if he's really in a jam and we don't tell him...
Of course he's in a jam. A bad one. If we find him, we're heroes. Big shot. If we don't, well, nobody will be any the wiser. How about it?
I'm with you.
We just won't log that distress call. There are no opportunities for advancement.
Now, in complete control of the strange submarine, Malengo pilots the craft toward the mouth of the Colossus River, while Prince Baccarati peers up through the transparent dome, watching for Commander Corey's spaceship.
We're approaching the mouth of the river now, sire. See how the headlands are flattening out? In an emergency, we could land anywhere along the beach.
All right. Does this stuff have a spacer balloon on it?
I do not think so, sire.
Wait a minute. I think I see a spaceship.
Where?
Over there to the right. Just swimming over the horizon.
You're right, sire. I see it.
Submerge! Submerge!
But, Your Highness, I don't think it's Corey. It's approaching from over the mainland. Corey knows we're somewhere in the sea.
Well, then it's one of my own ships.
It must be, Excellency.
I wish there was some way to signal him. This stuff is so small he might not see us.
I'll increase our speed, sire. Zigzag over the water. The white foam of our wake will be visible for miles.
All right, do it then. It is one of my ships. I can tell now.
I picked up something in the viewscope, Commander. The moving object on a heading of 147 degrees, now 23 degrees low. Headed right to the spot where we dropped Baccarati's ship in the sea.
An atmosphere ship, sir.
You hold this altitude, Happy?
Yes, sir.
Bob, there's only one ship. I expected 10 or 20.
Yeah, with the big boss in distress, I figured every ship on Planet X would turn out.
Possibly more will show up later. Our main job now is to keep from being detected. Marcus, bring your scanners up to full sensitivity. We're near the spot where the boss's signal cut out.
Looks bad, Warman. It's out over the Great Sea.
Yeah. No sign of a wrecked ship. Probably sank.
Baccarati still might have made sure.
If he was lucky. I'd hate to take my chances with some of the things that are supposed to be in these waters.
They said it. You know, I hear there's a giant jellyfish.
Wait. Put that down there in the water.
The white streak.
Well, let me adjust that viewscope. Cut our velocity, will you?
Sure.
Some sort of surface. Shaped like a projectile.
Look at it. Oh. What's it zigzagging like that for?
Evasive tactics. They want to make themselves a tough target.
Where'd it come from? Never saw anything like it before here on Planet X.
Probably some new space patrol gadget.
Now we know what happened to Baccarati.
Yeah. It blasted him out of the sky.
We better get away from here or we'll be next.
He was maneuvering down there. I'd say he was afraid of us. Let's blast him with a space torpedo.
It's going to be tough to hit.
Yeah. But it'll look good if Baccarati's ashore watching us. All right, hold this heading, Arcot. I'm going to cut loose. Missed him.
All right, let's get away from here before he fires back.
Oh, wait, let's make another pass. Maybe he used up all his ammunition on the boss's ship.
Commander, that ship's firing at something down there in the water.
I saw the explosion, Happy. Adjust the viewscope.
Right. Smoke and rockets. There's a small surface craft down there, sir.
That's what we've been looking for. Baccarati.
But why are his own men firing at him?
They have no way of knowing it's Baccarati. They aren't taking any chances.
That atmosphere ship's coming back for another pass, sir.
Got to drive him off. I'm going to take Baccarati alive.
Jesus, he's cut on all rockets.
We'll keep after him till we run him off.
Yes, sir.
We'll chase that atmosphere ship way out to sea.
Commander, they're firing at us.
They want to play rough, you'll cooperate. Stand by to fire straight.
Commander, we're hit!
Knocked out our starboard rockets. We're out of control.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment.
Space Patrollers, this is Carol. I want to tell you about the 750 beautiful Schwinn varsity bicycles that 750 lucky Space Patrollers are going to win in the Name the Planet contest. They're big, husky beauties. Schwinn, the best bike made. The 3-speed gear shift, 2-wheel handbrakes, and all the other famous Schwinn features. And you can win a Schwinn. But there's not much time. Go to your Weatherbird shoe store right away. If you don't know where the nearest Weatherbird shoe store is, you can find out in the yellow pages of your telephone book. So don't wait. See your Weatherbird shoe dealer and get going now on the Name the Planet contest.
And now, back to our Space Patrol adventure, the Sea Monster of Planet X. Unable to locate the small submersible craft by which Baccarati and Dr. Malengo escaped from the undersea city, Buzz devised the plan to lure Baccarati's own men to aid in the search. After turning on the emergency spaceophone signal in Baccarati's deserted spaceship, Buzz and Happy lifted the ship by magnetic force field and then dropped it into the great sea. Two of Baccarati's men picked up the signal of the castle and set out to rescue their chief. But they decided the tiny craft on the water was a space patrol weapon, and so fired upon it. In attempting to drive off the atmosphere ship, Buzz and Happy were fired upon by Baccarati's men. With a hole in the hull of their spaceship, Buzz and Happy are now circling helplessly over the great sea.
A torpedo tore out of starboard rocket control, Happy. We're losing altitude. If that atmosphere ship comes back, I'll sure let them have it. Our space weapons are still in order. Apparently they're glad to be out of the fight, Hap. They know that was a lucky hit. We're just going in circles. We're trying to set her down on the beach. With the side push of the rockets, what's to keep us from swerving out into the sea? I'll spiral down till we're on course parallel with the shore, then cut rockets. And ease her down with a repeller ray. Right. If I can groove her down to that long stretch of beach, it might work. This will have to be the last spiral, Hap. One more circle over the land and we'll hit those cliffs back of the beach. You were right about that atmosphere ship, sir. It's not coming back. Stand by repeller ray. Standing by, sir. When I cut rockets, we should continue on a straight course. Here we go, Hap. Full repeller ray. We're going awfully fast for a landing, sir. I know it, Hap. I've canted the repeller ray forward to give us some braking action. It's working, sir. We're slowing down. Oh. Nice going, Commander.
I'd hate to have to do it again.
Well, if the spaceophone works, we can call Pluto Space Patrol and let them know we're here.
At the same time, let Baccarati's men in on the secret? They could get here quicker than our ships could.
Yeah, that's right. We wouldn't stand a chance.
Let's take a look at the damage, Hank.
Yes, sir. Hey, that's some hole.
Yes, but we're lucky. The torpedo hit us a glancing blow and didn't explode on contact.
It sounded like it did.
It was a couple of thousand yards behind us when it blew up. Well, this is going to be a job. I think we can handle it. Let's get to work.
Far out from the beach, a metallic object lurks just beneath the surface of the sea. Then, cautiously, a transparent dome rises a few inches out of the water. Carefully, Prince Baccarati scans the sky and then turns toward the beach.
Hold it, Malengo. Keep it just as it is.
Yes, Your Highness.
Corey has landed on the beach.
Is their ship damaged, sire?
It doesn't appear to be. Yeah. Wait a minute. There's a hole in the hull. Quite a gash. Otherwise, it seems to be all right. There is Corey. He's trying to repair the damage.
It's going to take him some time by the looks of it.
Well, we'll wait till they're just about finished. Then go ashore and surprise them.
Excellent, Your Highness. But suppose Corey's ship is too badly damaged to blast off.
There'll be at least one workable spaceophone transmitter aboard. We can call the castle for help. All right, Malengo. Submerge. And make for the inlet on the other side of those rocks.
Its motors purring, the sleek craft moves underwater and then turns into the inlet. The dome breaks the surface as the tiny sub moves toward the shore. A gentle grinding sound tells Baccarati and Malengo that their craft is in shallow water.
All right, Malengo. Cut off the power.
Yes, Your Highness.
Now open the hatch. Do you know how to do it?
I think so, Excellency.
We'll have to wait ashore, Malengo. See that your weapons don't get wet.
Yes, sir. I think this is the hatch release. Getting it, sire. There.
All right. Boost me up, Malengo.
Yes, Your Highness.
All right. Now, come on, hurry.
Coming, Your Excellency.
Arms held above their heads to protect their weapons, Malengo and Baccarati wade ashore, hidden from the spaceship by large rocks. But their movements are not entirely unobserved. 4 pairs of eyes are on them as they emerge onto the beach. 4 pairs of eyes attached to a single barrel-shaped head. The head rises up from the quiet waters of the inlet, several hundred yards offshore. Supported by huge coils, the head rises farther out of the water, and a ripple of excitement passes down a gigantic body. Then the head is lowered until only the eyes are above the surface, and the monster moves silently toward the beach. Meantime, Commander Corey applies an atomo torch to the outer skin of the spaceship's hull.
I think that does it, Happy.
Yes, sir.
Rough job, but it'll have to do.
Didn't take as long as I thought, sir. I just hope we've got all those wires connected right.
We'll get back to the ship and make a final test before we try to blast off.
Yes, sir.
Take the torch, will you, Hap? Thanks. Hold it, Happy. We tend to examine the hull of the ship.
Yes, sir.
I thought I saw something move down the beach toward those big rocks.
Oh?
It might have been a large seabird, and then again it might not.
I got a glimpse out of the corner of my eye, sir. There is something moving.
Uh-huh. It's a man falling along the sand.
Baccarat.
Yes. And Malengo's right behind him.
What do we do, rush him?
No. Pretend you don't notice anything. Be very interested in the ship's hull. Then casually get into the ship as though you're going after more tools.
You want me to bring out our ray guns?
Yeah. Keep them hidden, though. We'll wait for them to rush us and then let them have it.
Yes, sir. Smoking rockets.
Are they coming?
Well, no, sir, but I just saw something else. Maybe I'm space happy. One of those big rocks is moving.
If we weren't on Planet X, I'd think I was having a hallucination.
What is it, sir?
There's no name for it. Centuries ago, on planet Earth, it would have been called a sea monster.
Yeah, but it's on land. At least part of it is.
Well, it sounds. It's moving very quietly.
Commander, it's after Baccarat and Malengo. We better warn them.
Wait. You don't know how fast that thing can move. Any noise or sudden motion might make it attack right now. Get into the ship, Hap, and bring a couple of blast guns.
Yes, sir.
But move slowly, Hap.
100 feet more and we can rush them.
Corey's there alone now.
Keep your head down. Just keep crawling. Keep low.
What's that? Your Highness, it's a monster.
It's after us. Run, Malengo.
Right between the rocks. Run for the rocks. Help! Hurry! Help! Hurry, Happy. Get those blast guns.
Coming, Commander.
It's attacking them. They've hidden between those rocks.
Smoking rockets.
Give me a gun, Happy.
Here you are, sir.
Help! Help!
They're still alive.
Monster can't reach them.
Oh, if it had raised its head, I could blast.
Now, hold it, Happy. You might hit Baccarat and Malengo. We've got to get closer. Come on.
Commander, it's trying to pull the rocks apart with its claws.
We can't waste any shots on this thing, Happy. I'm going in close and divert its attention.
Well, be careful, Commander.
When it moves toward me, we'll both fire.
Help!
Commander! Commander, here he comes.
Let him have it, Hap.
Run, Commander! Run! He's down. Hey, we got him.
Keep away from him. Watch out for his tail.
He's done for, sir.
Took a lot of doing. All right, Baccarat, you can come out now.
Oh, Commander. What a dreadful creature. It nearly had us.
Commander, you saved our lives.
Yes, Commander. I'm very grateful. Why, those awful jaws came that close to me. Malengo and I were just going to surrender when that monster charged us.
Cut it, Baccarat. We saw you trying to sneak up on us. Now, come on, into the ship.
Yes, Commander. Of course.
Wow, I thought we'd never finish that thing, sir. I emptied my blaster.
Better collect their weapons, Hap.
Right.
No, you don't, Cadet. Stand right where you are, both of you.
Commander.
I warn you, Cadet, don't move.
Your Highness.
Don't be frightened, Malengo. Corey and the Cadet are helpless. Then they empty their blast guns into the monster.
Sorry, Commander. I had to open my big mouth.
Just keep your hands up, both of you.
All right, Baccarat. What are you going to do with us? Take us to your castle?
Oh, no. I'm going to leave you here.
Your Highness, they did save our lives.
Shut up, Malengo. I know what I'm doing. After all, they do have an even chance for survival.
Oh, you ungrateful coward. You mean you'd leave us here on this beach, miles from any settlement?
It's all right, Hap. We don't ask favors of space rats.
If you get hungry, you can eat. There is plenty right over there where you're sitting.
Yes, Baccarat. We could eat sand. In fact, you said a mouthful.
My eyes!
Get Malengo, Happy.
Yes, sir.
I'll take that ray gun, Baccarati. Commander, honestly, I never would have left you here. I was just joking. Cadet, you believe me, don't you?
Oh, sure. And that sea monster wasn't serious either. He just wanted to play.
An action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment.
Hiya, Space Patrollers. Cadet Happy speaking. Listen, I got something important to tell you. If you haven't already entered the Name the Planet contest, you're missing out on the biggest chance you ever had. A chance to win a gigantic rocket clubhouse and $1,500. And you're missing 750 chances to win a Schwinn bike. So take off for your Weatherbird shoe store and get your free coin album and contest entry blank. And then zoom over and get some good hot Ralston. Remember, see your Weatherbird shoe man and see your grocer for hot Ralston. And hurry up. Do it now.
And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Cadet Happy is approaching a small fortress in a jungle clearing on Planet X, where Commander Corey is being held captive by Prince Baccarati and Dr. Malengro. Baccarati glances through the gun port.
We got company. The fool, the little fool.
What are you talking about, Baccarati?
Coming across the clearing from the jungle. It's a space patrolman. You're Cadet.
Happy.
Watch Corey, Malengro. I'll take care of the cadet with this blast gun.
Baccarati, don't.
Look, Corey. See what happens to those who defy the will of Prince Baccarati?
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, The Revolt of the Space Rats, when Instant Ralston and Regular Ralston again present Space Patrol! Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Devery. Other players were Bela Kovach, Ken Mayer, Norman Jolly, Dick Fields, Virginia Hewitt, and Tom McKee. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Instant Ralston and Regular Ralston again present the new exciting Space Patrol! This is Dick Tufeld in Los Angeles, reporting on a plane that can fly 1,000 miles without refueling, the North American FJ-2 Fury. In a moment, we'll hear from the well-known test pilot on this Navy jet fighter, J. Ray Donahue, Jr. The Fury is a carrier-based plane armed with 4 20-millimeter cannons. It flies 650 miles per hour, has an altitude mark of 45,000 feet. Its length, 37 feet. Now, J. Ray Donahue, Jr., recorded at Edwards Air Force Base.
To fly at supersonic speeds, a test pilot must have plenty of energy. That's why I always get a good night's sleep and start the day off with a good breakfast cereal like Rice Chex or Wheat Chex. They have plenty of energy, and they taste mighty fine. And I know that you'll like them, too.
No other cereal, puffed or flaked, contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. So take a tip from J. Ray Donahue, Jr., Bob Love, and other top test pilots. Make your cereals Rice Chex and Wheat Chex. Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program on your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.